generation of Detroit sports media is here. Crunch Time is back on Woodward Sports. Join Jeff Iafrate and Booner Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Taking Detroit sports coverage to the next level with massive interviews, viral moments, and the best live reactions. Get ready, Detroit. The young guns are taking over. Crunch Time on Woodward Sports.
Crunch Time here on Woodward Sports. We are back on a Friday, continuing Detroit Lions Media Frenzy Week. Today, more guests. 3 guests today.
The final day.
The final day of a very fun week. We appreciate all you guys for tuning in and supporting us. We got Justin Rogers joining us. We got Micro Mike joining us, the OG for YouTube of Lions content. We love Micro Mike. He's joining us to talk some Lions. And then Tom Mazaway is joining as well in the second hour. So stacked lineup today as well. And we got to get to the Tarek Skubal stuff. You know, he had some comments yesterday.
He just won't stop.
God
damn it.
People got mad at me a couple weeks ago when I said I'm out on him because he won't stop talking. And I think people are starting to join my side a little bit. Like,
well, it's just
stop.
Honestly,
just what's the point?
Why are we talking still?
The whole situation. Tarek, I'm just sick and tired. I want it to be over. I'm over it. I hate it. I hate covering it. It sucks.
I texted last night.
I love having Skubal on the team, but the talking about this stuff, like his comments, and it's tiring.
Yeah, I texted some of the boys last night. I don't understand. Like, I don't want to be like that guy. Like, I just don't say anything in the media. Like, obviously he has like a voice when it comes to like how his trade goes, and he can move the market. Right? It's Tarek Skubal. But like, I don't understand. And we're gonna play the video here in a little bit of him getting asked about the stuff from January and all of that, and he seems like not tense. He seems like pissed off, and he's like, I don't understand how this got taken out of context. I don't like. You're the most polarizing player in baseball right now. That's a fact. Like, everyone is talking about you every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I text some of the boys yesterday. How do some of these like superstars just not realize everything you say and everything you do is under a microscope, and it's going to get taken out of some sort of context unless you come out and state the exact fact? Like, he's like, I got taken out of context. He's like, I was shocked that happened.
Yeah.
Were you? It's Skubal. Like, if you somehow are seeing these videos of us talk, you have to just start. If you're going to talk, clarify a little bit more, because these things that are coming out, it's like, dude, it's going to get taken out of context because we only have so much to work with, and we all don't get to talk to you every single day about this, right? Like, you're the most polarizing player in baseball. This stuff's going to come out, and it's going to get taken out of context, and people are going to have conversations. Welcome to the big leagues, right? Like, that's what it is. That's why it confuses me that, like, superstars still get, like, shocked and mad about it. It's like, dude, you're a superstar. What you say is going to get put out there.
Especially not just the superstar, but the biggest storyline arguably in Detroit right now.
Yeah.
Is Tarek Skubal's future. I wonder if, like, we talk about Scott Boras a lot, I wonder how much of he's under his advisory with some of this stuff.
Probably a lot.
Like, with even the comments, though.
Yeah.
Like, are they purposeful, or they maybe not? Maybe they're not. Maybe it's just genuine. Maybe Tarek Skubal's just being a little naive and just being like, hey, I'm just saying what's on my mind. And
to be honest, I think it's a bit of pettiness on his part.
Potentially.
Just based on how the negotiations have gone in the situation that they are in right now.
Especially how many times he's reiterated he wants to stay in Detroit. He wants to win a World Series with the team that drafted him, I think were the specific words.
Right.
Do we have the clip? So this is Brad Galley. Shout out to him, by the way.
Two different ones, by the way.
We have 2. Do you want the one on?
Let's do the one that him talking about Friday.
Okay.
That longer one.
Let's do that
I think because I feel like that's more relevant. We could talk about the other one too, but
yeah.
I think that one's the big one.
Let's play it for context. We'll talk about it.
Just a point of clarification, you said recently that in January you felt something in your elbow and you kind of wish you had perhaps got an MRI then. Do you think that would have changed anything if you had? Like, would they have found it then? What makes you second guess that?
I mean, I think that's just hindsight. It's just common sense. If I thought that we were trending in the right direction throughout this whole process. I had a hiccup in January that I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was just some different soreness. I'd never dealt with anything like that before, and we were trending the right way. That's the reason there was no MRI. There was no discussion of an MRI. We were trending the right way. And I continue to make starts, and I continue to be a good player, and I felt like I was, doing our team a good job. And then had that incident in Atlanta, and the next 2 days went great, and that's why I decided to have an MRI and have the surgery. That whole thing was blown out of proportion, and that's fine. I get it, but A lot of it is not true and not factual. Just that
part
whole,
of factual, do you think?
me denying an MRI. I just don't even need to address it, to be honest, because I'm not going to play that game with you guys or with those
Oh yeah, I'm just
people.
asking
But it
for
is
clarification.
a lot of it. A lot of things that are said about me are not true. So it is what it is, though. I understand it, but yeah, of course, in hindsight, I would have gotten an MRI in January if I knew that this thing wasn't going to get better. But I didn't. I thought it was getting better for 3 months until it wasn't. So, yeah.
Clarification.
Yeah. You'd think that would be more obvious than it was, but it is what it is.
It's like, okay. By the way, two things here. One, what he said, fair. He added clarification there.
Yeah.
Understood his position. Got it. The other part is the people didn't have that clarification because we just saw the comments. So people just had nothing to react to but the comments that he said.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, well, if you don't want it to be misconstrued or misinterpreted, don't say it. And then you're fine. Or don't mention it. But when you say something when you say what Tarek Skubal said and it's interpreted the way it was interpreted, and then he comes out and is frustrated, I understand why he'd be frustrated. I understand that. It's like, dude, I thought it'd be more obvious. Well, clearly not. You know, when things are reported like that, and he's an athlete, but especially we know this because we're in media, they're going to be interpreted how the fans interpret them.
Right.
So the better thing to do is to do what?
Not
Shut
say
up.
shit.
Shut up.
Yeah. The end, it's just, to me, again, I want to always clarify. Love Skubal. I tell Caleb back there all the time, like, as a player, he's one of my favorite players in Detroit because he's so fun to watch. He's one of the best in baseball.
We want him here long
If
term.
he has it on an 8-year deal, I would be happy. But at the end of the day, he's not, right? He's not signed here, and that's why, you know, when we have these conversations, it's like, dude, I'm almost done with this. And a couple weeks ago, I said, I am done with it because these comments, it's like, dude, at the end of that interview, being like, I don't understand how it got interpreted wrong. Like, I do. Like, the quote here, like, I could read the quote that came out a couple days. I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what was wrong. And then the quote was, if I could go back, probably should have gotten an MRI in January and hammered it out where I was done with it in the off season. But there was also other factors in play. I was going through arbitration. The decision by the organization to take me to court, I think that probably had some impact subconsciously. So you said it, right? Like,
Yes.
You didn't clarify, like, hey, I actually thought it was going better. Like, you did not, in these quotes that get brought out in what I think it was an Athletic article or whatever it was, when those get brought out, no one saw the quote or got the quote of you being like, I thought it was getting better and I didn't need to go get something done because it was getting better and it was progressing in a positive way.
Yeah.
You didn't clarify that until yesterday when media asked you to clarify. So you cannot be mad at the end of an interview like that and be like someone says, hey, thank you for clarifying. Well, I didn't think I needed to clarify because no, you did need to clarify because these quotes come out. You're the best pitcher in baseball. You were the number one option in the trade deadline. Everyone talks about you every day. Like, you have to clarify that stuff.
Even in the original quote, if he hadn't have brought up the arbitration part of it, people would have let it slide a little bit more. But the fact that you brought up arbitration, and to be honest, and I'm on Skubal's side, everybody knows that it's documented. I think he's lying, to be honest with you. I don't think that's true at all. I think that, because if you thought it was getting better and then it just magically just one day you popped up and it got worse, no. I think that you felt a soreness that you hadn't felt before. Like you said, you took it to your agent and said, hey, what should I do about this? Should I tell the team? Should I not tell the team? I think Scott Boras advised him to not tell the team because that could affect the arbitration hearing.
No doubt.
And I just think that's what it is.
And again,
No doubt.
the only thing that just rubs me the wrong way is that interview that we just watched. You can't, like, especially when media, like, guys, I'm not gonna sit here and be like players have to be great to media, but hey, thanks for clarifying that. That helped us out because the quotes came out, and obviously if they got taken out of context, like, our job here, like, we don't want to take quotes out of context. Like, you know, we don't get to talk to Tarek Skubal every day. So when a quote comes out in an article, that's all you have to work with. And especially right now when that's the most polarizing thing in baseball is him, you want to be able to look at those quotes and be like, okay, I'm on Tarek Skubal's side or I'm on this side, right? Like, all we can do is take it out of context because that's all we have. So last night when they're like, hey, thank you for clarifying that, and he follows it up with, didn't think I needed to. I thought it was pretty it wasn't obvious, dude.
No.
Yeah.
Like, no, it was not. Like, why are you making other people look dumb and trying to dunk on other people? Like, and again, love Skubal. That's not it, dude. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
in
none
the
of this
chat,
had to
you
happen.
guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but
none
like
of this
that's-
had to happen if you just shut your mouth.
Yeah, it
This
just seems so
it's-
unnecessary
There's
to
no
go at
press
media
conference
yesterday.
Yeah, and it's not even like a shut up and dribble like
Nah,
thing.
but
it's just
yeah.
like if for your best interest, it's probably better to just not do the commentary.
Because we know what it is.
Yes, we
They're
know
not
what it
going to
is.
sign you, and you're going to walk.
Yeah.
Or you'll get traded.
And you're
That's-
frustrated. We're frustrated as well with the organization.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We know what it is.
And by the way, real quick, just Teddy in the chat said the team should have seen it in X-rays, billion-dollar organization with all these doctors. Guys, if it's the offseason and he has something wrong with his elbow, guess where he probably isn't. He's probably not with the organization at
Right.
that moment. He's out on his own, right? The organization isn't like even going through arbitration. Hey, let's get a scan every day to make sure you're good.
This was in January.
Like it's January.
Yeah,
He's
come
not
on.
with the team at that time. He's training on his own. If he felt something, he felt something, right? Like the team's not gonna like have every player come in and get an MRI every week on a weekly basis just to check in. Like you're not gonna do that. So like it's that one was on him a little bit.
Yeah, this would have been completely different if like someone's like speculated that Skubal was hurt in January and didn't go through with it. But Skubal, you literally said it. That like kind of to Booner's point, like that's all we have to work with is quotes, and you said it, so people are asking you about it. And when you're saying people are taking it out of context, that's what you said. So that's where it gets a little bit confusing. But one thing I will back up Skubal on is that, and this is what I was telling Booner in the back, I truly do think that all he cares about is being a competitor on the mound. All he wants to do is compete and pitch for the Detroit Tigers right now. Now, the future, that's, he might have other thoughts about that. But I just think sometimes he slips up in the media on accident, and I don't think he's necessarily trying to make these huge headlines. I will say he is giving his 100% to the Detroit Tigers. He's on the mound tonight. He's going to put them in the best position to win. So I do feel bad in that aspect because I think all this guy wants to do is play ball, and it's not that he's getting misquoted. It's just he's not realizing how polarizing of a player he actually is.
Yes, and that's what athletes probably deal with that more than often than not, where, like Tarek, like you said, he just wants to play ball. He's not used to being like in this spotlight, but right now he is because of obviously what's going on with the Tigers and who he is as a player, obviously how great of a player he is.
Yeah.
But like there's examples in sports of great player superstars who are facing this type of situation with an organization where they want an extension. And there's times where it's like, hey, I'm just going to go play ball. I'm going to let things figure it out. The fans know what it is. I know what it is. I want to be here. The fans know I want to be here. Like we know what the Tigers and how cheap we get that. But once you start having comments, when you have as many comments as Tarek has had in the last, I felt like the last month and a half, they're going to get misconstrued, or even fans are going to interpret it a way in which maybe you didn't intend it to happen. That way. That's just how it is.
And I'm sure AJ Hinch, because AJ Hinch has coached a ton of good players, and especially players that have been through contract negotiations. Maybe not to the extent of this, because Tarek Skubal is the best pitcher in baseball. But like what Tarek has to realize is that, bro, you could say your ABCs and it's going to be a headline,
no doubt,
on an article.
No doubt.
Like everything you're going to say, yeah, sometimes it might be misquoted, which is unfair to you. But he just has to realize that everything he's going to say is going to be a headline, especially when you say that your elbow was hurt in January and you had to get surgery.
And here's the thought: don't say anything.
Yeah,
just ride it out. Whatever the fate is going to be, just ride it out.
Again, I just want to always clarify this. I feel like we have to, or at least I have to, because I feel like people always take us out of context in a sense. Like when we get in these arguments with Neil, again, I would love the Tigers today to get a deal done with Tarek Skubal, and we don't have to even have this conversation.
Two things can be true.
Like I would love that.
We all would.
Skubal, like the other comments that he had today or yesterday was like he thinks this team can win a World Series, which I've been on. Obviously, I don't know if they're a full World Series team, but that they can make the playoffs and make a run. Like I'm with him on that. This team is really good right now. Like this is a really good baseball team. So I see what he's saying. It's just more so the side of these comments that come out, and then you getting mad at the media or frustrated. I don't even know what the word was that he was last night. Like, what is that? Like,
I think that's frustration. I think everything's just
and
starting
he's
to get
taking
built
it out
up
on the
and-
media a
he's
little
starting to
bit.
get mad,
And I hate seeing star players, especially in Detroit, have to get frustrated like that because you could tell it's wearing on him.
Especially him too.
Yeah, because he's a good dude.
Yeah.
You've never seen him
Yeah.
in the media like get mad at people or be frustrated. He's always a just even keel guy.
He gets mad in games.
In
That's it.
games he does, but
Yeah.
I've never seen it in the media. I've
Competitor,
never
yeah,
seen it with fans. And then all of a sudden, that video came out yesterday, and I honestly, I was taken aback watching it. I was like, I've never seen this Skubal before in media.
Let's take a break. We're going to be joined by our special guest, Justin Rogers, Detroit Football Network, good friend of ours, but we got to hear from who, Caleb?
Planet Fitness.
Let me tell you about him. Planet Fitness. You had to do a Planet Fitness, man. Me and Booner were at one this morning out in Royal Oak, but you can
Shout
go to
out.
any one near you. They have 60-plus locations in Metro Detroit. They're always close to you. And they have the Summer Pass going on. Again, it's live till August 31st. Teens 14 to 19 can work out at a Planet Fitness for free all summer long. All you got to do, register online at planetfitness.com.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Jameer Gibbs, breakout season, loading.
Inside the 5, Gibbs to the end zone, touchdown!
Woodward Sports, the most dominant Detroit sports coverage around.
This marks the 15th year anniversary for the Founders Brewing's legendary all-day IPA. One of the greatest drinks on the market right now. It's citrusy, it's crisp and refreshing with the perfectly balanced taste and a 4.7 ABV. It is built to go the entire distance for the game, whether it's a Tigers game, Wings game, Lions, whatever it is. Oh, Pistons, don't let me lose that there. And as well, too, if you're out on the golf course, it's a great drink for the golf course. Get $5 shorts right now at any Art and Jake's locations in Michigan right now, Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And as always, guys, if you're going to have one, please drink responsibly.
We're back. It's crunch time here on Woodward Sports, continuing Detroit Lions Media Frenzy Week, and we're joined today by Detroit Football Network's own Justin Rogers. He joins us virtually to talk some training camp, and you can check out me and Justin on Lions Collective every single week. We actually just filmed our episode, 2 days ago, and it's the first episode back. 6 p.m., sometimes Thursdays, depending on schedule conflicts. But I also want to bring up, Justin, before we get into Lions training camp, I want to give you a chance to talk about Detroit Football Network because we talked about Lions Collective too. 2 days ago was your 2-year anniversary, which I think you need to speak about and tell our audience just kind of the process when you first started it to where you are now, because you're absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, made a difficult decision to leave I think a pretty stable and enjoyable job at the Detroit News, just because I thought I could do a little bit more. And so launched 2 years ago Wednesday, fully subscriber funded, no advertising, none of that stuff. It's been really, really good. I think, I don't know, a couple months ago I hit over 1,000 stories in that 2-year stretch. A lot of unique features. I try to look at the team through, I guess, a more detailed and refined lens than anybody else, pulling out stories that nobody else is writing. Everybody can talk to Jared Goff, and everybody can talk to the star players. I'm trying to obviously touch on those topics, but dig deeper into, some of the more unheralded people on the roster and in the building.
It's excellent stuff, and people can get more involved, DetroitFootball.net. I know you got a lot of stuff coming up here. You got training camp, obviously, which we do want to get your thoughts on. And I guess I'll start with this. And we talked about it on Wednesday on Lions Collective. But, storylines coming from training camp, I know it's hard because you don't really know what to expect. But you kind of have going in your head, you kind of know going into it just some things to watch out for. Maybe what is one thing specifically that you're going to have your eyes on for training camp that you want to pay the most attention to?
I think once camp rolls around and the pads come on, your eyes immediately go to the trenches, right? Like you can see how different players' skill positions are moving. You can see the defensive back rotations, but you really don't know the structure and integrity of a football team until you know how they handle the physicality down in the trenches. And obviously this offseason was a big makeover for the offensive line. I brought up this fact somebody had shared with me that none of those guys in the offensive line that are projected to start will be playing next to somebody they played next to last season. And so there's a lot of chemistry to be built. There's new pieces to be integrated, whether it's Larry Borom or Blake Miller at right tackle, Penei Sewell moving to the left side, Cade Mays at center. And so A lot of attention is going to be there, and then there's going to be a lot of good competition for the depth spots on the defensive line. I think we have a good feel for what that starting four is going to be, but a lot of fluidity right now going into camp on kind of how the rest of those snaps fill out, including rookie Derek Moore.
Yeah, Justin, also, first off, want to just congrats on the 2 years for Detroit Football Network. Incredible. I'm subscribed. I love it. You do a great job. One thing I want to ask you here, it's probably the hottest topic going into next week is the secondary. Obviously Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, and then the big news is that corner room after the TA stuff. What's your kind of thought process going into that over the next few weeks when it comes to this secondary? What are you going to be looking for in that safety room if those two guys aren't good to go? Obviously Kirby really the biggest one. And then what are you looking for in that corner room as well with no TA and them kind of trying to fill in those spots after that situation?
Yeah, it all starts with Kirby here, and the Lions will be announcing which players end up, if any, on the physically unable to perform list to start camp, and so that all centers around Kirby. Will he be ready to go? However limited, however cautious they are, I guess, with his reps early on, will he be ready to go on day one? That's huge. Branch is going to be a while. I would expect probably mid-season for Branch, just given the nature of the industry where he's at in his contract negotiations coming into his final year of his rookie deal. And so Brad Holmes did a really nice job building up depth for that position this year. I feel really good about it. You'd like to see a rookie in that mix for maybe some long-term stability, but in terms of the veterans, Avonte Maddox, Chuck Clark, Christian Izzian, you've got a lot of guys, a lot of experience. We've talked about it quite a bit on our podcast, Jeff and I, about just the appreciation we've had for how quickly Chuck Clark has stepped up and identified himself as a really nice security blanket for that situation. So whether Kirby Joseph's out there or not, I think the Lions are equipped to handle his absence. What you're going to lose and you're not going to be able to realistically replace is the playmaking. It's a guy that's got 20 interceptions in his career, and I pulled out a stat that Thomas Harper, Christian Izzian, Avonte Maddox, Chuck Clark have 15 interceptions for their career combined, and it's something like 190 games. So you can't replicate what Joseph brings to the field in that regard. Cornerback situation, they were really smart to bring back Rocky Sin. He fit really, really well last year. The numbers are as good as the stylistic fit. Best quarterback rating, passer rating against when targeted last year was in the 70s, which would make when quarterbacks are targeting him basically the worst quarterback in the NFL. He's physical, he tackles well, he plays the run. That's really, really good. Where I'm concerned, opposite of the safety situations, the depth. They're going to be leaning kind of heavily here on Ennis Rakestraw to be the next man up. It's a guy that's played under 50 snaps, fewer than 50 snaps in his first 2 seasons in the league, and then you're getting into real dicey depth. Your Khalil Dorsey's, your Nick Whitesides, guys that have played snaps and actually played some pretty good snaps, but just nowhere near the consistency where you feel comfortable if they've got to come into a game.
I want to ask you about just some of the contract extensions. I know, and you've been a part of plenty of these contract extensions that Brad has ironed out with these players. And the timeline varies, of course, during the season. You got after the season, during the offseason. You got Jameer, Sam, and Brian. You already talked about Brian, but just to kind of go with Jameer right now, and I know we talked to Jeremy yesterday about it, but you have experience with this too. You see the reports or the inklings that he might hold out, and people have this they think they know this information, but Jameer is a player. He's an incredible player, and he's someone that the Lions probably want to keep for a long time, foreseeable future. How do you think that contract extension kind of goes? The timeline on that? Would you be surprised if it gets done during training camp, during the season, and then same with Sam Laporta?
I'm never surprised when the Lions get a contract done early. I mean, it's been their MO. The sooner you get that contract done, the less the inflation hits, right? The cap is not going to stop going up, and new contracts are not going to stop getting done. And when you have guys of that caliber, a Jahmyr Gibbs, a Sam Laporta, the more the market's driven up by other signings, it's ultimately going to drive up their cost if you wait. And so I do think there's a good chance that Gibbs gets done this offseason. I know there's kind of this little waiting game with Bijan Robinson as well. I think those two guys, when it's all said and done, are going to end up being the top paid running backs by annual average value. So the average cost of that contract, it's going to put them in that $20 million range. Laporta's a little bit more interesting, but the fact that he has been fully clear for training camp, I think that was kind of the expectation all along. But I still think the Lions want to see him out on the practice field, just a few padded practices, see how the body responds, and that'll kind of be the impetus to get that one done. Again, you're talking about a contract that's going to get in that $20 million range, a little bit less. I think the top, just off the top of my head, I think the top tight end contracts right now are Kittle and McBride. I think those are in the $19 million range. I think Laporta checks in just a hair under them. And I think that makes sense. I think those two guys are clearly established as the top two guys in the league. So $18 million for Laporta. Branch, I know they want to get it done, but you want to see him get back on the field, whether it's just the practice field or in-game action before you make that commitment. So that's probably more of an Aleem McNeil situation or a Dave Montgomery situation where you reach that agreement in the middle of the season. You hope it doesn't draw out to March where he's able to get to the open market or force you to use your franchise tag.
Yeah, hey, Justin, I think you're the perfect person to ask this, talking about kind of just the offense. But when it comes to
just ignore the,
going
yeah,
on?
just,
I don't know what's happening.
Just ignore the entire
Just an
tree.
absolute tree.
That just walks behind.
I want to ask you, though, just about the offense and the weapons in this offense, because I've seen a lot of people put out there, like Isaac Tesla. I think it was ESPN or someone put out that he's going to be, or it was the NFL Network, a breakout player for the Lions was Isaac Tesla. How do you see kind of them navigating this offense, and especially with Drew Petzing coming from Arizona, where he really just had Trey McBride as that kind of big piece, and now he has, Amon-Ra, Sam, Jameer, JMO, and then you add Isaac Tesla in that. How do you see him navigating all these different weapons, and do you think a guy like Tesla is going to be able to get, those different, targets that maybe people want to see him get?
I think there are going to be two week-to-week constants in that offense, and it's going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs. There are going to be very few weeks where those guys have down weeks in terms of targets, touches. Production might ride a little bit of waves, but I mean those are your two superstars, right? And then so the rest of the targets between JMO, Laporta, throw Pacheco, I guess that mix, Tesla, and whatever other pieces round out the roster, like there's going to be ebbs and flows. Like it's just going to be how it is. There's only so many targets, touches, snaps for the ball to go around, and so with Tesla in particular, like he's going to have a bigger year. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's going to threaten 1,000 yards or even come close to that, but one, it's his second season, right? So there's been development. He's gotten over some kind of those rookie lumps that he had to take in terms of getting the playbook down, getting the expectations of details down. Two, there's been a roadblock removed to his playing time. He was splitting time last year with Khalif Raymond, and that was fair and reasonable. Khalif Raymond had more trust. He was in the system a really long time. Well, that's gone. And I know Greg Dortch is here now. Greg Dortch is going to see some snaps, but it's not as much of an impediment to Tesla seeing the field. And so I think you could safely kind of project that like double the targets, double the reception, double the production, right, for him. And that's still really good as a complementary piece to the big picture, right? This is a extremely explosive offense. I think almost any NFL owner, GM, offensive coordinator would trade their offense for Detroit's. Probably 28 teams, maybe more. And so I just don't think you can get too much into the hand wringing. Obviously fantasy owner is a little bit different, right? Like you need your guy to score points for you that given week, but like you don't have to care how it gets done as long as it gets done. And I would be pretty surprised if they're not averaging close to, if not more than 30 points a game again this season.
Based on where we're at with this secondary, I don't know if it's fair, but Keith Abney, I've been high on Keith Abney, but he is a fifth-round pick, so I think we have to keep that in consideration.
Yeah.
Of it's not fair to him to expect, like Brian Branch impact, but when you look at the secondary and you look at Keith Abney, maybe his versatility, what are fair expectations for a guy like Keith Abney who plays a position in which the Lions are kind of lacking this year? Like, what mindset do you have kind of going into training camp into the season on what to expect out of the rookie and Keith Abney?
Yeah, before Arnold's release, I kind of saw Abney as starting as the backup nickel and, pushing Roger McCreary for that role and maybe eventually even taking over. The Lions have not hesitated under Dan Campbell to push a young player out there as he's proving on the practice field that he is close to or ready. Now it's interesting. Like I said, there's depth concerns on the outside, and Abney played outside for Arizona State, and he was really good. I mean, really good. And what I like about his skill set is he's got great anticipatory reactions to balls in front of him. He's a very good tackler in space. And, you know, the one thing I found watching his film that if you want a criticism is he got hung up on blocks a lot, right? Whether it was on the perimeter or close to the line. And so your tackling is not as valuable if you can't get off the block, right? And so I think that was one of my concerns with him moving to nickel. I'm very, very curious of whether the Lions will adjust and adapt their plans coming into camp now that they're a little bit more shorthanded on the outside, if they'll use him a little bit more in a flex role. But, you know, ideally he's going to be a special teams performer first and foremost here to start his rookie season. And, you know, if he proves his mettle in practice, then maybe he can ultimately take over that starting nickel job, or he can be that safety net on the outside if injury issues crop up again.
All right, Justin, we're asking everyone the way too early record prediction for the Detroit Lions, July 24th. On top of that as well, just kind of where you think right now as the team sits. Can they make a playoff run? How far do you see a team like roster right now like this going in the playoffs in 2026?
Not to be that guy, I never do predictions because they're silly, right? I mean, Jared Goff could get hurt in week 2, and then like, what are we doing here? Look, the roster is talented. It's very talented. I think we talked about this with the ESPN GMs, coaches, decision makers ranking the top 10 every position. The Lions had more people show up in that top 10 than any roster, right? Like it's a really star-studded roster. They've got good depth. They've got a nice, favorable schedule. I don't think that we should shy away from that talk. And so, like 11, 12 wins is kind of the bar for this roster, as long as like none of your key pieces go out with injury. And so that's good enough to probably win you the division. And then, you know, from there it's, you know, where does it go? You know, can you pull off a run like you did in 2023, or do you know, you never know. Obviously you didn't expect Washington to upset them 24, but I think this is equal to the other rosters they've had in the last couple of years, and I think we can call them fringe might be too negative a word, Super Bowl contender to start this season.
Thank you so much, Justin, for joining us, taking the time. Again, you can check more of Justin and myself out on Lions Collective every single Wednesday, Detroit Football Network, as always. Get your subscription. Justin, we appreciate you, my friend, joining us. I know you're going to be busy for the foreseeable future, but taking the time means a lot to us, so we appreciate you for that.
Has anybody tried trading Scooble for a cornerback yet?
Would love that. I would do that in a heartbeat right now.
I think you just got our next segment. I think we're going to dive into that actually after this.
Perfect. All right, fellas.
Thanks,
all right, there you go. Justin Rogers joining the show. We got to get to break. We just got LeBron news.
Breaking news.
Wow, bro.
Wow.
LeBron.
We got to talk about that when we come
LeBron's in
back.
the East, everybody. He's back in the freaking East. And Caleb, what do we got? Let's get the hell out of here.
Tell us about water hazard.
I'll give you.
You're going to need a couple.
I'm going to need like 8 of these to digest LeBron being in the East. Water hazard, the very first canned vodka cocktail from Founders. You can get your $5 cans of Water Hazard at any Art and Jake's locations in Michigan on Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. You can grab one on the golf course as well. That's where I preferably love to grab them, but you can drink them anywhere. They're just delicious. But always remember to please drink responsibly.
Dan Campbell is in redemption mode.
No, make no mistake. It's not revenge he's after. It's a reckoning.
And Woodward Sports is here to cheer on the Detroit Lions every snap. Don't miss a moment of Detroit Lions coverage. Follow Woodward Sports on all social media platforms now.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Some days call for light, others lean bold. What about everything in between? All Day IPA, the easy choice for every day. Citrusy, crisp, refreshing. Flavor you can float with. Light on the hops, big on refreshment. One's great. 2, even better. Brewed with you in mind. No shortcuts, no fuss. Big on flavor, never too much. All Day IPA. Hop into easy.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
One.
It is time to upgrade your game with the Thrive Energy Pouches. It is a nicotine-free mental powerhouse packing over 300 milligrams of clean and smart caffeine, including alpha-GPC and L-theanine. You get no jitters, no sugar crash, zero bloating, none of that stuff. If you need some energy, you can go to dipstop.com, and you can also put in promo code WSN to get 15% off your entire order, or you can find them at all Market Fresh and Market Square locations. It's Thrive. Clean energy, zero distractions. They just effing work.
We're back. It's crunch time here on Woodward Sports. We had breaking news while Justin was on there. But by the way, shout out to Justin. He crushes every time he brings it. He brings it every single time. So we appreciate him for that. Join and talk some Lions. And then you just get this notification from Shams. And
Shams about
LeBron James is going to the Philadelphia 76ers on a 2-year, $8 million deal. He took basically pennies, not literally pennies, but pennies according to what LeBron commands usually, to go play with the Philadelphia 76ers. Now they have Tyrese Maxey at the 1, VJ at the 2, Jaylen Brown at the 3, LeBron at the 4, and Joel Embiid at the 5.
Oh, my God.
Can we all say this? That's the best team in the East.
Yeah, on paper, for sure.
On paper, best team in the East. And hey, originally, we've had the arguments, are the Pistons, or did the Sixers pass up the Pistons because of Jaylen Brown? Everyone's like, I don't know. Yeah. Another team passes the Pistons up. And it is what it is. Like I mean,
if they stay healthy, that's the big question mark.
That if they're healthy, they could win the NBA Finals. Like that's a T. And if people don't, even with Embiid, like if Embiid's healthy with LeBron, Maxey, Jaylen Brown,
Edgecombe,
that is the best starting 5 in the NBA if they're healthy. And people can be like, and you know what we're gonna get, Jeff. You're a LeBron guy. People are gonna be like, it's LeBron who's 40 years old. He's not the same LeBron. Guys, the guy averaged like 25, 8, and 8 last year. He's LeBron James, and he's probably one of the best passers in the game right now. He could still go get a bucket if he wants to. He's still athletic. That's a big move,
guys. The thing with this team is he doesn't have to be.
No, they could go off ball with anybody.
He doesn't have to be Superman on this team. He doesn't. He doesn't have to average 25, 8, and 8. He has Jaylen Brown who's going to average that.
Tyrese Maxey.
Not 25, 8, and 8, but 25 points.
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey, who just averaged 20-plus points. Joel Embiid, who's an MVP.
Yes.
And he tweeted out a thread basically essentially highlighting why he chose Philly, and a lot of it had to do with just winning, period. He wanted to win. It's not about money. It's about trying to if you're going to play another year, especially at his age, you want it to be for a chance at a title.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he's going to Philly. And let's just add this, too. Like, I know this is a LeBron different conversation, but if he wins in Philly, he would have brought a championship to 4 different cities.
Yeah.
Miami,
which is insane.
L.A., Cleveland, and then Philly.
Yeah.
Which would be another notch in his belt.
Absolutely.
For him, too, like we see the money, by the way, guys. He didn't need money.
Yeah.
Like, again, he just wanted to, like, if you are going to be that old and play.
He did say that in the offseason, by the way.
Yeah, like the
he
money.
Said he would take less money.
It's not even a factor. For him, like Jeff said, it is a championship. It's like, I want a chance to compete. And if you're the final piece on that Philadelphia team, it makes sense, guys. Like, it really does. I thought he was going to go to Miami because of the Giannis stuff. And I think even with Miami, I think that you could have argued they were a championship team with LeBron. And, like, again, there's people in the chat, like, guys, LeBron doesn't suck.
No,
he is a really good. Again, he's not a superstar, right? Well, he's a superstar because he's LeBron. But like play wise, he's not going to go get you 30 a game like he used to back in the day.
Yeah,
he's going to get you 20 plus. He doesn't have to go out there and get you 27. He's going to. You know what he's going to average this year? He's going to average like 28 and 8.
Yeah,
and that's all you need.
That's all you need
out of a 42, 43-year-old player that's making $4 million. That's one of the biggest steals in NBA history.
Guys,
it really is.
But I'm just sick, man. I'm sick. I'm a Detroit Pistons fan, okay, at heart.
Oh, man.
I've had to experience LeBron torching my team in his prime. And just when the Pistons are the number 1 seed in the East and they have a playoff run, and they have an offseason which many would say was disappointing because they didn't get a superstar. A superstar joins the East in the same conference you're trying to win. So forgive me if I'm a little upset about it that LeBron decided to go to Philly to play with Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid. And I got to take that team down if I'm the Detroit Pistons. Like, yeah, you have Cade Cunningham. You have a collection of players you do like. But they missed out on getting another star. And now you have to face a team with 5 guys that are pretty good.
Yeah.
So forgive me for being upset about it.
Hey, Tev Sauce gave $5, said, okay, cool, LeBron, that's cute. Don't forget the number 1 seed in the East last year added Isaiah Joe and Gary Harris. Sit the F down. I don't understand. Are we at a point? Are we at a point finally, though, that we can all just come together and be like, yeah, this isn't good for the pit? I mean, not just this specifically, but the offseason. Like, every team has done something. You're running out of options, and you really haven't significantly gotten better. Oh, and by the way, you guys want to hear a new report? I don't know if we had it in a segment today. You guys want to hear the new Jalen Duren report?
What?
Jalen Duren reportedly wants $57 million a year. He wants the max. Ooh. And that just came out this morning via Yahoo.
Have fun
and
with
that's
that.
not a fake report. That's straight from a Yahoo article of their NBA reporter.
No, I have fun with that. But I think before this happened, it was different because the East was still kind of in a place in which there were no super teams. This is officially a superpower in the East. We don't get many teams like this in the Eastern Conference. As a matter of fact, the last one I can think of was the Miami Heat with LeBron and Wade and Bosh. Like, this is absolutely crazy, but it is dependent on health. I'm interested in the fit and the way that's going to work with Jaylen Brown and LeBron. But like I said, they go off ball with either one of those guys.
Oh.
Like there's so many different things that you could do, especially since you got so much scoring at the guard position as well. So it's a move. If they stay healthy, that is a move.
If they're healthy, again, I'm going to keep saying it all the way until maybe their injuries and all that. That's the best team in basketball. It is. You can't deny it.
No,
they're
not.
Yeah.
They're not better than the Thunder or the Spurs.
Maybe the Thunder, but when you talk about
their
their top 5, that starting 5 is the best starting 5 in the NBA.
I think the Spurs
healthy,
is still better.
To KG's point too, LeBron, VJ, Tyrese, and Jaylen Brown. Guess what? All 4 of those guys can do.
Score.
They can score. They can play on ball. They can play off ball. They can do everything. It's not like one of those guys has to be a spot up. One needs the ball in hand. Each one of them are probably some of the most versatile players in basketball. They just went out and got 4 of them. And then you have, if healthy, a really good – I'm not going to say one of the best bigs in the league anymore because he's not, but a really good big that still averages 20 and 12.
And it's not his show anymore.
And it's not –
that's cool.
And you have other superstars on that. You have 2 superstars on that team right now with Tyrese and Jaylen Brown. Oh, and LeBron. Oh, and VJ, who's still up and coming going into, year 2? And he was incredible last year.
And Embiid, when he's healthy, he's a 25 per game guy. Like, this is, I thought.
So you can't say this isn't this. You could argue the best team in basketball.
You could argue it, but I would argue against it. I still think they're the best team in the East. I think. I just looked at the odds for the 76ers are still behind the Knicks to win the Eastern Conference, which I think is pretty crazy. But I thought even before this LeBron thing, I thought the Sixers were going to be the best team in the East last year because I just think that combination of Tyrese Maxey and Jaylen Brown and a healthy Joel Embiid, maybe a VJ Edgecombe, like that's a really, really good basketball team. Then they just add the greatest basketball player of all time. Like, yeah, this is the best team in the East. And as a Pistons fan, I'm fucking sick to my stomach because, like Tev Sauce said, all we did was add Isaiah Joe and Gary Harris, and we are getting lapped in the Eastern Conference right now. I'm not saying we had a chance to go get LeBron, but I mean these teams in the East, they're going out and making aggressive moves.
We knew this was a possibility, obviously, of him coming to the East, and he could have went to Miami, he could have went to Cleveland, and to be honest, I thought he was going to a team he already played for. So that's where I thought it was Cleveland or Miami or Golden State would be the team he didn't play for to play with Steph Curry. But for him to choose Philly, he's all in on a championship. It just so happens that Philly already had a trade for Jaylen Brown, I don't know, a month ago, less than a month ago, and now you have LeBron joining the team. And what did you say about 5 minutes ago about the best lineup in the NBA on paper? Did you say something about the Spurs?
Well, he said the Thunder.
No, I think the Spurs and the Thunder are a better team.
I think on paper, I think this is the best team in basketball as of right now. That starting 5 is like, dude,
I get what
give me another
Caleb's
starting 5
get
that's better than that.
I get what Caleb is saying.
Well, it's not all just guys. I just said I think the Sixers are the best. I thought they were the best team in the East even before the LeBron thing. But it's not just about a starting five. I don't think they're the best team in basketball. I think San Antonio and OKC are both better than they are still, but they're in the Western Conference, so it doesn't matter as much. But I mean, Philly's a really, really, really good basketball team.
Yeah, they have to put it together. I understand all that.
No, but yeah.
I think we say that about any team though. Like
but
in the
let's
offseason,
keep it a stack here. I mean, let's keep it a stack here. I mean,
Hey.
It's pretty good. It's a really good. Not that you're not saying that, but I'm just telling the people here. Like, guys, I know people are like, well, it's it's LeBron. He's old. He sucks. Okay, fine.
No, that's just.
It's just, and I get it from a Pistons fan. I get it. I understand looking at LeBron. And you're like, he's old and he stinks. But if you watched LeBron last year, you know he doesn't stink. Okay, you know he still can play basketball,
and he's making $4 million a year.
$4 million, which just seems to be a cheat code.
Yeah, that's insane.
He's taking $4 million to go play.
He said he was gonna take less. I didn't think it would be that.
That's less.
Yeah, no, I didn't think it'd be that less.
I mean, he's making less than Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, that's
all due respect.
I mean, the Sixers are going to.
Is he making about the same as Dennis Jenkins?
About that, yeah.
About $4 million?
The Sixers are going to get $4 million in jersey sales in the first 2 minutes when they go up. Like,
and his endorsements out there, like, yeah.
So let's run through the East real quick, okay?
I'd love to.
Let's go through.
I'd love to.
Let's play this game. I think this would be a fun game to play. Okay, so the East, the Knicks obviously won the championship. Would you take the Knicks over the 76ers?
Not now.
Okay. So these are the teams right now that were top of the East last year, and then we can go through it. So East last year, obviously the Pistons were number one, rightfully so. They had a great season, 60 wins. You have the Boston, and I'm going to tell you that we're going to play a game. I'm going to give you team names, and you tell me if the Pistons are better than them. Okay? Right now, as we stand, Boston Celtics.
No.
So you think the Celtics? Say the team Celtics. You take the Celtics over them?
They possibly are better than the Celtics because they lost Jaylen Brown. No. All right, fine.
Okay, no. New York Knicks.
Better.
So we have the Knicks as one. Cleveland.
Yes.
You're better than Cleveland, yeah.
No, we're not better than Cleveland.
Cleveland's better than Detroit, or Pistons better than Cleveland?
I think the Pistons are still better than Cleveland. I do.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think the Cavs are still better than us.
Okay, we're split. What do you think, Booner? Just throw it in there.
Cleveland, you just lost to them. Okay. You didn't really upgrade as much.
2-1, we'll just go with that.
Yeah.
Even though KG might probably, the people in the chat, they would disagree, but we'll just go Cleveland. Toronto, Kawhi Leonard. We'll see.
No, the Pistons are better. They don't have
see,
Kawhi
but
Leonard.
Kawhi trade pending. But.
So far, we have the Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the 76ers. I think we all agree we would take them. Miami with Giannis and Bam Adebayo.
They're not better than them.
I mean, they're about the same. I mean, with Giannis now.
They're better than the Pistons.
Yeah, you could argue they're either the same or better. They're not worse.
And what do we think about the Pacers being healthy?
I think we're better than the Pacers.
We're not. That is such a good team.
We'll see.
They were just in the NBA Finals.
So right now, you're talking about the Pistons going from the number one team in the East to probably around 6.
This is the issue, and this is the issue that I've had all along with that. We've gone over that even like a month ago when half of the teams in the East made moves, and we were like, oh no, this isn't good. You just got passed up by 3 teams. Now almost every team that's at the top of the East has made a major move, if not 2. And you've made no major moves. And I know I get people in the chat. I don't have it open now. I'll open it in a sec. But I'm sure people are like, well, you were the number 1 seed, man. You were the number 1 seed. Guys, you just fell down. And that's not just because of LeBron. That's because they got Jaylen Brown LeBron. The Heat went out and got Giannis. The Cavs are going to be the same team, and you just lost to the Cavs, and you didn't upgrade your team. Like, we can keep going down the line here. Who else was there? The Celtics. They're going to be healthy again. Like, you're in a spot where you're right now. You are not like the clear favorite to win the East. You guys want to see something? Want to do sportsbook minute? You want to see this?
Why not?
Let's see where the odds are. We could see where actually the NBA and Vegas thinks that this thing goes.
I got them already. If the Pistons are plus 300 to win the East, that's 4th in the Eastern.
Who's ahead of them?
The Knicks are ahead of them. They're the favorite. Then it goes the Sixers, and then I believe the Cavaliers, but I'll double check on that. So they're 4th. And then another team we didn't name too, and I know it's whatever. Like, people like to joke about them. The Magic are
Magic's a good team. Yeah. I mean,
they are a good team.
How many games did it take you to beat them?
I get it.
That was without Franz Wagner.
I still think we're better, but
head coach.
I still think we're better.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. It is disappointing that you're coming off a 1 seed. You won 60 games, and you're. What did you say they were to win the East?
They were plus 300
to win the East. I think you might have it wrong. They're plus 850 to win the East.
Oh shoot!
They are plus 850, not plus 300. They're plus 850. The New York Knicks are plus 340. The Sixers are plus 380. The Celtics are plus 500. Guess who's above the Pistons right now? The Toronto Raptors at plus 750. And then the Detroit Pistons at plus 850, followed by the Cavs and the Heat.
They got the Raptors up there because of a pending Kawhi trade. But
they added Kawhi. You know, the East just got better.
It's not there yet, but yeah. Depends on the investigation.
And you don't even have your center signed yet, by the way. And he wants $57 million a year.
And that's your quote-unquote number 2 option.
That's your big splash move is signing Jalen Duren. Yeah. That's like, we're going to make a splash move this year. That's like Brad Holmes. Our splash moves and our big moves are just re-signing the guys in the house because they're all pro players. You don't even have them signed yet.
Oh, man. I mean, I said it. I mean, I've been saying, and I hate to like sound like a fucking asshole, but it's like people think that this is the same East as last year. So us kind of not making these moves that make us a better team, like it doesn't matter. Like this is not the same East as last year. The East has gotten better top to bottom. Like you have a team from the Eastern Conference that just made the NBA Finals 2 years ago that didn't have their best player last year, and they're back.
Well,
and they might have a better roster than they did when they made the NBA Finals. Like, nobody talks about the Pacers. Toronto, what if they get Kawhi? We're fucked. The Sixers, they just got LeBron and Jaylen Brown. We're fucked. Boston, they're always going to be in it. Great head coach. They have Jason Tatum, good roster, great team. I mean, this is a totally different Eastern Conference than it was last year. This is going to be a grind. This is going to be a grind next year for the Pistons.
Hey, by the way, like Dez in the chat, y'all looking at names on the teams, Pistons still top 4. When was the last time a team full of names win anything? Now, here, let me address this. So I understand that. Go back to the Suns with Beal, Booker, and Kevin Durant. Yeah, it's about fit. And I think this Philly team has the right collection of players that fit.
Right.
But here's where we have to be consistent. If the Pistons had the same team assembled, what would you say?
We would be like, they're the greatest team in basketball.
We have to be consistent.
We would be like, they should be the favorites to win it all.
No Detroit Pistons fan would come and say, we got to see it first.
Nah.
They'd say, we are winning right now. Let's have the parade down Woodward.
Yep.
We already won the championship.
Great point,
rightfully
Jeff.
so. It's like, guys, we got to be consistent with this. I understand you got to see it play out, but let's just look at it objectively. Like that, they're stacked.
1 through 5, though. Like I said, when is the last time you saw an East team 1 through 5 that looked like that? It's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's the concern, I think. It's just like, realistically, guys, we can be like, hey, the Pistons were the 1 seed. They're dropping down to whatever. Guys, the East this offseason got significantly better.
Yeah.
And like, very much so. And that's I think, should be the more concern of this offseason because every single team, not every team in the East, but every contending team in the East, they made some sort of move. That's more than you did. And they were trying to catch you because last year, guess what? You were the 1 seed. They're trying to catch the 1 seed. You have a target on your back. And guess what all those teams did? They took a step forward to catch you. And you didn't even make the conference finals. That's why it's honestly, if I'm being honest with you guys, that's why I think this whole conversation is crazy to me, is because as Pistons fans and people in Detroit right now, they're going to be like, oh, we're okay. Guys, you didn't even make the conference finals. Didn't even go to the championship. Like, if any team in the East is going to be like, oh, we're okay, it should be the New York Knicks right now because they just won a championship. They got it done.
Right.
You have no right to be like, we're fine. We could sit back. We're going to be just good. No, you didn't even – you won as much as the Magic did. They won nothing. You won nothing. That's where we're at. That's why it's shocking to me that people are like, oh, it's fine. We'll be good. You made no moves, and you didn't even win last year.
Yeah. We should take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break.
What do we got, Caleb?
Booner, tell us about Mortgage Pros.
Let me tell you guys about Mortgage Pros. I'll tell you what. If you're looking for a career upgrade like LeBron just got, check out Mortgage Pros, the #1 mortgage broker to work for in the entire state of Michigan. We got to see their incredible company culture firsthand at their annual block party, and 4.9 stars on Google and over 4,000 reviews. Their reputation, it speaks for itself. So if you are looking for a new job, give Mortgage Pros in Troy a call. You see the number on the screen there at 248-416-1361. Again, that's 248-416-1361. It's Mortgage Pros. Let the pros handle it.
Neil Rule and Sean Belizian wake you up every Monday through Friday on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. That's right, Big D Energy has moved to mornings. Get your morning dose of Neil's tone and Sean's insanity. Weekdays 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Two Detroit sports legends coming together for the best Detroit sports morning show there is. Big D Energy, waking you up weekdays on Detroit's #1 sports network.
Finally, life-enhancing LASIK surgery at a price you can afford. Michigan's most experienced eye surgeon, Dr. Yaldo, is offering the most advanced LASIK at just $1,699 per eye, regardless of your prescription. Imagine not just being free from contacts and glasses, but actually seeing better without them. This limited 2026 spring offer is thousands less than others charge. Go to YaldoEyeCenter.com for your free evaluation and save.
I hate to tell you, energy drinks, but you're about to be crushed. Thrive nootropic energy pouches are here to change the game by delivering steady, focused performance in a clean white pouch for a fraction of the cost. And unlike other brands, Thrive comes from an American company that's been leading the way for over 30 years. So stop drinking gut rot energy drinks and why don't you thrive for a change? It's just better.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
If you're looking to add some Detroit style to your next event, go with Buddy's Catering. Their menu is packed with fan favorites, including their award-winning pizza, signature salads, home-style pastas, and more. Save 20% on your next catering order of $200 or more with promo code Woodward20. Visit buddyspizza.com/catering to view their complete menu and place your order today.
We're back. It's crunch time here at Woodward Sports. We broke down the LeBron stuff, shared our feelings. We'll revisit it. Maz is going to join today. That's what we have, at least hopefully, with the schedule conflict. I don't know with Maz.
He said it's all good. He said no problem.
We have Maz on still.
With
so
the LeBron news, it really
we'll talk to him
shuffled it all up.
There's the LeBron fan right there, not Maz. So we'll get to pick his brain on that. But we're joined by our good friend, Mike Gimber, Lions Talk by Chat Sports, to talk some training camp. Let's bring him in virtually. Mike, how we doing, my friend?
I am doing great and so excited for training camp that's going to happen on Monday. Finally, the lull period is nearly over with.
Hey, by the way, Mike, can you turn that camera the other way, like the long way? So what's this way? Because it's
yeah, I could do it the long way, like this.
Let's see if it changes.
Yes, there we go.
There you go.
Let's go, Mike.
Yeah, well, I want to ask you, Mike, we've asked everyone this, and you have a different perspective. We had Meaty on, and you're kind of in our boat where we have we hit the panic button. We have crazy thoughts and ideas. That's why we give opinions for a living. What's one thing that maybe you're heading into training camp thinking about, worried about, concerned about? What do you need to know more about, Mike, heading into training camp?
This one is pretty easy. I think we all can agree that the secondary right now is a huge question mark for our football team. You know, Kirby Joseph dealing with that kneecap. His knee went into business for himself. That wasn't good. Brian Branch injury, you know, when is he going to come back? And, of course, Terrion Arnold being released due to his, idiotic mistake that he made down in Florida. So I think just what is going to happen there? Can somebody step up like Keith Abney, Roger McCreary, someone help out that secondary? Such a big question mark right now for this franchise.
Yeah, Mike, I do want to bring up one thing as well is obviously going into training camp, some of the big news, Jahmyr Gibbs and his contract stuff. What is your thought process on that? Jeff here, he's been pretty out there saying, hey, wait to pay Gibbs. Let's see what he looks like at least this year as the full bell cow without David Montgomery.
If you're going to pay him.
Yeah, if you're going to. Yeah. So it's obviously the way if you're going to pay him. Where are you at with the Jahmyr Gibbs stuff? How do you kind of look at that, and how would you navigate that if you're Brad Holmes?
I'm really not concerned at all for Jahmyr Gibbs and his contract issue. If we looked at what Brad Holmes has done throughout his tenure with the folks that he has picked in the draft, specifically, and of course Jared Goff, they pay all their guys that they like, right? They've paid Jack Campbell, Penei Sewell, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Lee McNeil, even obviously Kirby Joseph. They're going to go ahead and pay Jahmyr Gibbs. I keep telling everybody that listens to my channel, don't worry about it. Even if there is a day of a holdout, is it really that big of a deal? Gibbs is an elite player. We've seen what he's done on the field, and now he's going to be the bell cow, just like Dan Campbell suspected and said. So, no, I'm not concerned at all for his contract issue. I'm just excited for it to get done so we don't have to talk about it anymore. That's what I'm more excited about.
How about this offensive line to kind of see these guys play together? I know it's no one on this offensive line has played next to the guy the guy next to them, I think. Well, even Panay, yeah, Christian Mahogany haven't. So everyone's starting fresh with new guys to the right and left. How do you feel about this O-line and the confidence level that they'll get it together before the season? And how long do you think it'll take for them to be a serviceable O-line?
Right now, I'd say the offensive line is way better than it was last year. Not even close. Right, you got Panay Sewell to the left side. Cade Mays, much better center than Grant Glasgow. Blake Miller, rookie, he'll get his feet. Everything will work out throughout the season. He's going to make mistakes. It's going to happen, right? That's what all rookies do. I think it's going to take a little bit of time to gel, right, to get to that elite force offensive line that we've kind of used to the last couple of years. Each week it will get better. I suspect by the end of the year we'll be a top 3 offensive line. That's kind of what I'm going at. Heading into the playoffs, the Lions can get there. I'm not too concerned about it. Obviously, the left guard position, who's right? Christian Mahogany, Ben Barch, Miles Frazier. We don't really know what's going to happen right there at that spot. But other than that, I'm really confident this offensive line is going to be good and really good by the end of the year. Just takes a little bit of time to gel. It's a bunch of new faces and new places, and you got a rook. So I don't want fans to get too upset when mistakes do happen. This offensive line is going to be good, and they invested correctly getting younger this offseason and getting better on that offensive line. Because if you want this offense to roll, in which right now there's so many question marks on defense, it starts up front with the offensive line. We've seen it last year. Every Lions fan knows we needed to completely rearrange that group and make it a strength of this football team so we can make a run and beat teams and hopefully make a playoff run and get to the ultimate goal.
Hey, going into camp here this next week, can I ask you just who you have, a couple maybe breakout players going into this season? I know I'll throw a couple names out there. One for me that I'm interested to see is the Isaac Tesla thing. We talked to Justin Rogers a little bit about that dynamic. Who are some breakout players for you that you're going to be looking for specifically going into camp and preseason?
Well, he talked about Isaac Tesla. Isaac Tesla is definitely going to be a breakout player. He worked on his offseason strictly on getting off on his routes as well as utilizing his hands, his speed. Clearly in OTAs and minicamp, it showed that he is getting better. And obviously, Drew, I think it's going to make him do the long-distance routes, right, like Jameson Williams. So I think he's going to break up. How about Tyleik Williams? I love what he did at the end of the year, the last couple of weeks for him. And it was really good. Sorry if my internet is going out. Sorry, I just moved, so it's a little bit difficult with everything going on. But yeah, I think Tyleik Williams is going to be a very good player this year. Hopefully he amounts to what we expected Aleem McNeil to be, right? Because when we drafted him, that's what we wanted.
I'll ask about the you talked a little bit about Tyleik Williams, but just the defense with Calvin Shepard. And I know it's a big year for him. And, people were going at him after last year, defending him because of the injuries. But I know we've had this conversation before, Mike, about Calvin Shepard. And you understand how much he needs to step up. But as we get into training camp, how much are you going to be paying attention to that defense and trying to figure out whether or not they can be an elite defense despite all the concerns they have in the secondary?
That's what I'm watching in training camp is this defense. It's so funny is we have a new OC in Drew Petzing, but I'm more concerned about Calvin Shepard in this defense. When you look at what they did in the offseason, we picked up some players. A little better. We picked up some players here, like DJ Wanham, but he's just replacing Al-Qadim Mohammed, right? So can Derek Moore come in as a rookie and get 5 sacks, 6 sacks to help out with DJ Wanham, what he can get? I think that's the strength. But then you look at the linebacking core. We lose Alex Anzalone. That's not a good thing. We bring in Rolder. I like Rolder, but it's going to be a little bit before I think he gets his feet wet, maybe halfway through the season. And then the secondary is just a complete and utter mess. And I know that Calvin Shepard is wanting to switch it up and put more nickel on defense, and I think that's the correct decision to do. I just don't know if we have the talent to really have a quality defense this year. I'm really concerned they're going to have a bottom third defense, and it's going to be Achilles' heel again for 6 straight seasons.
Hey, Mike, I want to get you. We've asked every single person we've had on throughout this media frenzy week record prediction, and as well where you kind of think this Lions team makes it throughout the playoffs in this 2026 year. Where are you at with the record and the kind of the postseason run here for this Lions team?
Right now I have the Lions getting 11 wins. I think they can get 11 wins and win the NFC North. think they did a lot better than like the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers in the offseason. We had a quiet one, but we picked up specific players that was vital to what was our weakness last year. And if you look at what some of the North teams did, they lost a lot of quality talent over there. I think that's going to help dividends, obviously, with the easier schedule. That's going to help out as well. I do think that they can win a playoff game. My bold prediction, or my prediction for the season, was them going to the NFC Championship and facing the Rams in LA, and then us losing, unfortunately. But I think that they're a really good football team. I think they're going to get back to the playoffs. This offense, I'm excited about. I think high-powered. It's going to be kind of like 2024, 23-ish, and the defense being the weakness for this team.
We appreciate you, Mike, so much. Good luck with everything. I know you got a lot going on, moving. So keep up the great work, and we'll talk to you soon.
So apologize. Next time it won't be like this. It just everything's a clutter. You just got done with the move. I had to get it done before preseason and training camp because it's impossible to do that while camp is taking place. But I appreciate you guys having me on.
Much love, Mike. You're the man.
We
appreciate you for everything. So we'll talk to you soon. There you go. Micro Mike, Lions Talk by Chat Sports. Check him out. Well, you probably already do. Legend. What do we got, Caleb?
We got Icon Auto.
Let me tell you guys about Icon Auto Repair and Collision. Welcome them to the Woodward Sports family, guys. If you have been in an accident or your vehicle needs repairs, make sure you trust the team at Icon Auto Repair and Collision. Right now, they have 3 convenient Metro Detroit locations: Madison Heights, Shelby Township, and Pontiac, and they've got you fully covered, guys. They offer free car loaners and even offer to pay your deduct. IconAuto.com. It's the icon that you can count on.
Dan Campbell is in redemption mode.
No, make no mistake. It's not revenge he's after. It's a reckoning.
And Woodward Sports is here to cheer on the Detroit Lions every snap. Don't miss a moment of Detroit Lions coverage. Follow Woodward Sports on all social media platforms now.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Let me tell you about our friends over at Supreme Lending, because you got to talk to the professionals, Chad and Chris over at Supreme Lending, especially with the most important decision, not the decision LeBron made to go to 76ers, but the decision to buy a home or refinance. It's a massive one, and we appreciate Supreme for being a part of the Woodward Sports family. When you apply for an eligible loan, mention Woodward Sports, and you'll receive up to $500 off your appraisal. To score the deal, call the numbers on your screen. Talk to Chad and Chris at Supreme Lending today. We are back. It's crunch time here on Woodward Sports. Detroit Lions Media Frenzy, but then also today it's Detroit Pistons Frenzy because LeBron freaking James is
There's a lot of shit going on right now.
Yeah, what a week, guys. What a week. Yesterday, Jeff and I were walking to our cousin, man, what a week we have going on here. DMA, all these different things going on. And we're like, there's no way Friday can one up it. Like, let's just get in the office tomorrow, do our show. Scooble, obviously, that stuff. And then LeBron makes the decision, man. And it's in the East. And it's the Sixers who did you bring up for the Sixers? They're six-man.
Yeah, Anthony. Simons?
Yep. Best roster in basketball right
He's
now.
their six-man.
And Quentin Grimes, not a bum.
Quentin Grimes? He's
not
a bad role player.
I'm pretty sure he's on the
Sixers. He went somewhere.
I'm looking at their depth chart right now.
Yeah, he got signed by a different team.
Oh, maybe he did. On their depth chart right now, it says Quentin Grimes.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's updated.
That's last year's, yeah.
Maybe he's not.
Yeah, he got.
Oh, here's an updated
He's
one.
on the Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Shout out Caleb
I
Love
don't
from
care who their
Arizona.
bench is. I mean, who?
No, but the fact they got Anthony at the 6, that means in the playoffs they gonna be a problem if they stay healthy, bro. Like,
They are. If they're healthy.
They only run it
scary
7
thing.
deep in the playoffs, probably like 7, if not maybe 8. Maybe.
Should we hit the any super chats? I saw one of the super chats was about Doc. We're going to talk about Doc at some point today. So don't worry
we'll do
about
that
it.
at the end of the
We'll
show.
adjust the Doc stuff, and because we have a whole spiel on the Doc, and that's our guy. So we're going to talk about that. But any super chats?
Yeah, I could rip them off real quick. Then we got Maz on too, but I could rip these real quick.
Let's go.
Xavier Rose shot up for the 199. Breaking news: LeBron to the 76ers. We got the Tev Sauce one. Shad 216 with the 499 shout out. He said, "So should the Pistons just tank since this season is a wash? Everyone else is just too good. Now there's no possible way for the Pistons to catch up."
No. We're not. That's a little hyperbolic. We're not saying to tank. You obviously are going to compete, or we're just saying the chances of winning a championship, which is the ultimate goal, has gone down.
Let's do we have more super chat? We should just go to Maz. We'll do super chats after. Maz has to.
Right, let's do it.
Let's bring in our good friend
He's
Tom
on
Mazaway. Good friend of ours, despite what people may think. Apparently we hate Maz. Maz hates us. No, we love Maz.
Right.
He's our
fired.
uncle. He's the uncle I never had. Let's bring him on, Mr. Tom Mazaway.
You don't have an uncle?
Well, Maz is my only uncle, if you ask me.
Maz!
How we doing?
Mazzy, baby.
Whoa.
Who said we hate each other? Who said
That's the rumor. Hey, Maz, people are saying that I squeezed you out. I don't do anything. I don't think people realize me and you are like the closest this could be.
You guys are my sons. I love you guys. What, are you kidding?
Yeah, we love you too,
all.
Maz. We love you, man.
Maz,
Right.
I know you're sick, Maz. Or maybe you're not sick because LeBron's with the Philadelphia 76ers. How do you feel about that, Maz?
Get it off, Maz. Get it off.
Let's hear it.
I think it's perfect. It's a perfect ending for that asshole. They haven't won since Dr. J was there. I mean, give me a break. He went to the East. It's an easier path to the final, but they're not going to get to the final. I promise you. Philadelphia will not win the East. So
Maz.
relax.
Maz, as of right now, are the Sixers better than the Knicks? Yes or no?
Of course not.
Maz, are they better?
not.
Are they better than the Pistons?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh,
they're not.
Maz.
I told you, Maz
I
hates
was
LeBron.
at the
Yo, he
game
hate-
last
yeah.
season. Pistons beat him by like 25
The Sixers?
at LCA. Who gives a shit? Let LeBron do what he wants to do. You know he wasn't going to quit. He needs to get the parade. He needs to get a gift from every team. I love what he said. Oh, I really thought I played my last game. Bullshit. You thought you played your last game.
That might be bullshit. Yeah,
that part.
Hey, where do
we
you
know
have him?
LeBron ain't going out without
Right.
like a tour.
No.
Where do you have him
Farewell
ranked
tour.
all the time, Maz? Is he a top 2 for you?
He's probably around 8, 9,
Oh.
or 10. Maybe 10.
Okay, Maz.
Maz,
Oh,
trust
Maz.
me, I've been dealing with this for a long
Go
time.
ahead, Caleb. Go ahead.
Maz, did the 76ers get worse by signing LeBron James? Were they a better team yesterday without LeBron?
They're better.
They're better now.
They're
All
a better
right.
team. But the ball can only go to one person at a time, right? So they all want the ball. So let's see what happens. Joel Embiid's going to be out 90% of the time anyway.
That might be a fact.
I don't see the Sixers. I don't see him. I don't see it. Who cares? Let him go wherever the hell he wants.
Very well said. Very well said. Maz, I do want
Let him go
to.
where he wants.
He blinded by that ring.
Can we get into the Scooble conversation? I know you have an
Sure.
opinion on it. I just want to let you kind of go off on this
What a big
because,
mouth.
I've been told that you aren't happy with the situation. I have been one of the people who haven't been happy with the situation that he's doing, going out in the media talking. I've been saying, dude, just stop talking and just go play baseball and let what happens happens. Hey, where are you at with the Scooble stuff?
He put his foot in his mouth. His foot has been in his mouth since day one. When he hired Scott Boras, all he had to do was say, I really want to stay here in Detroit. Make it happen. Just make it happen. Instead, he lets this guy go out and make a monkey out of Scott Harris and the Tigers. The Tigers look like minor leaguers during this whole thing, especially with the arbitration and all of that horse crap. Now, let me tell you this. I said this in day one. They wouldn't have given that contract to Framber Valdez. What did they give him? $35 million a year, roughly?
Yeah, around that.
You could take that. I guarantee you that they offered well over $40 million a year to Scooble, and this idiot or this Scott Boras, as good as he is a jackass. And he painted the Tigers. He laughed at him and basically said, we're not taking that. And then he took the road by saying, we're not negotiating with this team. We want to get traded, or we're going to wait to the end of the year. We're going to get our deal. He's forcing the Tigers' hands from day one. So now he backtracks, Scooble, and says, I want to stay here. This team could win a World Series. Well, if that's the truth, then you shouldn't have done it the way you did it. It's been a disgrace this whole year. And when the guy sat out and with his elbow, the team won 6 games, 6-22, I think they were. So he basically, by himself, took them out of this playoff race. Sure, they're fighting, they get back in it. But when you dig a 16-game hole, it's tough to climb out of that. What are they, 4 or 5 back now in the win column? So we'll see if they can tie it up. They got to sweep the freaking Royals. The Royals, I was at last night's game. They have 2 major leaguers on the team. 2. And they pitched the guy, I forgot his name. He was the Uber driver from the Minnesota Twins 3 years ago that the Tigers traded for last year, if you remember. He was one of the guys that we went and got. And I can't think of his name, the starter yesterday. Anyway, Scooble has messed this up from the get-go. He's going to get paid, but he's not going to be a Tiger, obviously, and that sucks. He wrecked it for himself.
Now, we know we have a little bit going on the show with this Tigers playoff watch. I know Boone's been he's been rooting for this Tigers team to make a run, and they've been hot. I mean, we've had this conversation after May, so you got to think where Boone was battling it after May. Man. But now here we are. How do you feel about the future of this team? Just looking at the season, assuming they keep Scooble.
Look, I don't know how they win. I don't know how they win when they have guys hitting under 200. Then James Outman at 151. I like James Outman. Yeah. Remember that night we went to the game?
Yeah.
James Outman.
How about last night?
Run. I know. He won him the game, basically. Tied it. But he's hitting 151. Zach McKinstry, 190. Colt Keith, 240. I don't know how they're even winning.
Home runs.
But they are.
Literally the home runs.
They're winning, guys. I don't know what it is. AJ Hinch, as much as I, want to strangle him most nights, him and his computer, taking guys out after 5 pitches, they're still in it. As bad as they are still in this. And I'm not giving up the season. I'm not. And it's going to be hard. Unless they get a hell of a deal for Scooble, I'm not trading them. Because I don't want another return like they got Franklin Perez, Jake Rogers, and Daz Cameron from the Astros, and they all failed. Well, except Jake, right? Jake's still here. But nonetheless, we can't do a deal like that. I'd rather go down with the Titanic and have him sitting in the captain's chair, pitching. And I would freaking make him pitch 8 innings. I don't know why they're babying him still. Leave him on the hill. Leave Scooble on the hill. Let him throw 120.
How do you think, Maz? I'm just going to ask you about this trade deadline. Is there a way that we see, do you think Scott Harris is going to say, screw it, let's buy, and they go all in on this?
I think they'll buy. I don't think they're going to really break the bank. Obviously, they need a reliever. I would think that's number 1. Number 2, you need another bat. But who doesn't need another bat?
Right.
And one more starter would not help, would not hurt. You don't know with these injuries. Casey Mize can't stay healthy. But you know what, guys? They made the playoffs 2 straight years. They were an inning away from going to the ALCS last year. Why not give it one more run here and see if you can make hay? The American League is obviously down this year. You look at a team like the Yankees. They're terrible. That is a terrible team in New York. Sure, they're getting their arms back right now. Boston just won 15 in a row. But they're not going to go anywhere. They're just barely over 500 themselves. You can make hay in the American League this year. Why not? Look at Seattle. Cal Raleigh. Look what happened to him. The American League is like upside down this year. I would stay in this game and somehow make a run and get in that playoff and see what happens.
Maz, I want to ask you just on some Detroit Lions talk. I know training camp's coming up and the season's approaching. I mean, it feels like it's approaching.
I just got off the phone with Doc.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out.
We're going to get into that as well. We'll get into the DOC. But I do want to ask you the training camp stuff. What are some things you're looking forward to hearing out of training camp, or maybe some things your storylines that you're paying attention to, whether it's position groups or defense, offense? What are you looking forward to?
Well, first of all, I think they have the top 3 offense in the league. I think everyone could say that. That's you can't, not even debating that. I think they're going to wind up paying Jahmyr Gibbs before camp starts. I do believe that. I mean, what the hell? They've waited this long, and they're always saying we're going to pay our own guys. Sam Laporta, maybe you give him another year before you go ahead and do it. You can franchise him if you need to. But my main focus is on the defense, like everybody else's. Aiden Hutchinson needs help this year. It's his first coming back really healthy year. Last year he played off the injury, had a pretty damn good year. This year I expect more out of him, and I expect more from the other side. You got to get to the quarterback. And, of course, the Terry and Arnold, it's a big hole because I really believe TA was going to take that next step this year. And he effed up. And I wish he was still part of the team, actually. I do. Because in the NFL, they allow guys like Terry and Arnold and others to keep playing. Sure, they'll suspend him for a while. But I thought maybe he could have given him a hand this year if of course, the court case works its way out in his good, for the good for him. But you obviously need somebody secondary, and you got to hopefully Brad Holmes did enough. I don't think he did. I know Dave Burkett was with you guys on Monday, and Dave and me are lockstep on that. I don't think they did enough to take care of that secondary this year. And then last year we were complaining about rushing the passer. Now I'm worried about defending it. So now you got to rush the passer because you're not going to leave those guys out on an island on their own. You don't know when Branch is coming back, and I'm not expecting anything from Kirby. So that's what I'm looking for. We'll see how long Kirby can stay healthy.
We appreciate you, Maz, for joining. I'm proud of you. You got VMix working. Look at you. You look good. You got the whole setup taken care of. You talked about the Zoom call with the speeding ticket. You were struggling getting in the Zoom call. I thought you did a fantastic job with VMix. I thought you did an excellent job.
I love you guys. Thanks, fellas. Thanks for having me on.
No,
hey, love you, Maz.
Love you, man. Anytime, my friend. Tom Mazaway, you're the one and the only. Love you too, Maz.
We'll see you tomorrow at the Tigers game.
Yes, we will.
There you go.
Hey, Florida tonight.
I've heard about that. Yeah, shout out. Is it Florida or Florida? Which one are we?
It's Florida. Even Maz know that.
I heard it on the broadcast. They messed it up and said Florida when they did the promo.
Is Chef Geach performing?
If Chef Geach is not performing,
we should get Chef Geach on one of these Friday nights that they do.
He always get Chef Geach confused with G-Mac Cash. They're not the same person, and I always have this problem with him. And it's funny, Chef Geach was supposed to be on yesterday. That was the funniest
Shout out Chef Geach, man, the GOAT.
Man.
Keep up the great work, Maz.
Thanks, Maz. Appreciate you.
See you, fellas. Love you, man.
There you go. Tom Mazaway. We'll go to break here. What do we got, Caleb?
We got, I believe it is Mad Packs.
All right, let me tell the people about Mad Packs, the maddest of packs, of course. And they got a new drop. I'm talking about the gummies, man. The Boom Shakalaka 200 milligram hash rosin gummies and the Hilo 200 milligram live resin gummies, alongside the new Mad Packs extracts, blizzard packs, flour, and pre-rolls. All the products under the roof of Mad Packs. So go to getmadpacks.com. Mad flavor, mad high, Mad Packs.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Let me tell you guys about the greatest establishment on planet Earth. That is Art and Jake's. Guys, we were out there just a couple days ago for the Detroit Tigers game. We've done a lot of streams there, whether it's March Madness, Tigers, Lions, whatever it is, guys. Go check out Art and Jake's. The Crunch Time Boys, we were out there literally every Saturday almost for every UFC event. They have over 80 wall-to-wall TVs, 22 draft beers on tap, and they have over 90 menu items, and they have the best menu item, the Crunch Time Bites, as their appetizer. We're working to do something with that, too, by the way. I saw a couple texts go back and forth. We're trying to get a little promo, Crunch Time Bites and Crunch Time Sports. So make sure you guys go check them out. Art and Jake's, man. It is a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
We're back. It's Crunch Time on Woodward Sports. Hit the like button on the stream. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Detroit Lions Media Frenzy Week. Obviously, today, LeBron joining the 76ers. We talked about all that. I do want to talk some Lions because Steve Smith has his own podcast he does, own show. And if you don't know who Steve Smith is, just go look him up. He's amazing. He's one of the greatest receivers I've watched in my lifetime.
No.
Nasty with the
Can
Panthers.
before we do the Steve Smith thing with Steve Smith, I've seen mixed opinions on his takes with wide receivers because he is one of the greatest you'll ever see.
Yeah.
But I've heard mixed reviews about, like Klotz is like, oh, Steve Smith said this guy's going to be great. And then, 2 years later, you go look back at his, list of receivers coming out of college, and he, whiffs on them. And maybe I'm wrong, but I've just seen where are we at with Steve Smith.
I mean, I don't know if he has a high. I don't know his hit rate on calling. I think he's great at breaking down. I mean, guessing and trying to determine who's going to be great. So
Right.
He's not going to hit on every single one of those guys.
People whiff.
But when it comes to breaking down tape and analyzing wide receiver play, I trust him.
Yeah.
It's okay to disagree with him, which ties us into what he said about the Lions wide receiver core, and he ranked wide receiver duos in the NFL. And we have the video.
Yes.
Let's play the video, and we'll react to it and give our thoughts. So here's Steve Smith talking about him ranking his top wide receiver duos and where he had the Lions.
Last question before we go and finish this out. Where does J-Mo and Amon-Ra St. Brown rank among the 1-2s in your mind? Because I think St. Brown's a top 5 receiver maybe in this league. Where do they rank kind of in the 1-2 combos? Top 5? Top 10?
No.
Top 5? 10?
They don't. Here's why they don't rank top 5. Here's why.
Yeah.
Because J-Mo is still working.
Okay.
Right? When I put here's the thing. If you remove J-Mo's speed, is he better than T. Higgins?
I think right now T. Higgins is better, even if with J-Mo's speed.
But I'm taking his superpower away.
Okay. Yeah.
Is J-Mo is he better? I'm kind of messing up my thoughts.
Yeah. Good thing we got John.
I'm thinking about it now. You might be. Yeah, I think he might be.
Put
he
that
might
in
be
there.
the top
You
5.
put Dallas in there.
Yep, not better than Dallas.
No.
He's not. I don't think he's better than Pickens.
Mm-mm. We got the Vikings, Steve, with Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
I love Jordan Addison. I also hoping Jordan Addison can stay out of trouble.
Yep. We have the Rams with Devontae and Puka.
Nope, he ain't. Sorry.
Yep. Denver with Courtland Sutton and Jalen Waddle. It's pretty decent 2-0, actually.
Yeah.
Sneaky good duo.
I know this probably isn't going to go well, and the people in the comments. I see J-Mo and Waddle kind of being the same player.
What? That's fine. I'm just trying to throw out the.
So that's a push. That's a push for me.
That's a push. That's a push. Okay. I mean, Rome and Luther Burden staying in the division. See, what do you think about Jahan Dotson with the Falcons?
Hey, people are.
Listen, I'm going to start this by the old. You know how we do this a lot? Hey, Steve Smith, you're great. Your opinion on anything I will listen to. But your opinion on the top wide receiver duos is a bunch of ish. All right, that was terrible. That was terrible, and I love it because, and I would love to have him on the show, actually, to talk about it. Maybe we can try and get him on the show, but that take on why they aren't a top 5 wide receiver duo,
It's pretty bad.
He got lost in translation. He was in a blender.
Bad. He was like, I've kind of fumbled my thoughts here.
To say that if you take away J-Mo's speed, if you take away Randy Moss's speed,
take away Justin Jefferson's route running.
You can't do that. You can't. Tyreek Hill, take away Tyreek Hill's speed. No, you can't do that, Steve. He has the speed. You have to rank them accordingly. And the only wide receiver duos I'm taking over the Lions, and this is where I'm glad we're getting back at it more positive because this week's been tough especially on your boy. But I'm going to keep it a stack here. The only wide receiver duos I'm taking: Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. That's 1. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. That's 2. Puka Nacua, Devonta Adams. That's 3. That's it. So they're 4. They're top
4th.
5. Yep.
Yeah. And if you want to argue it, the two things I went and actually looked. I have this whole thing right here that I did of all these different stats. Jeff, how many numbers are on there?
It's a lot of numbers.
There's a lot of numbers. And I went and I said, okay, I'm going to go look at all the receiver duos in the NFL. I only did about 7 or 8 of them because after that, it kind of falls off. And I was like, I want to see the combined yards for both of them, touchdowns, catches, all that. The wide receiver duo in Detroit, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and J-Mo, they're the only wide receiver duo in 2025 to each have over 1,000 yards and over 7 touchdowns. The only one. The only one. And on top of that, if you combined every single wide receiver duo in the NFL in 2025 and you went and looked at how many combined yards did they have, guess who leads the NFL as a wide receiver duo? Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. Yeah. Together, they had the most receiving yards out of any duo in the NFL. So, yeah, I would probably take Puka and Devontae because of what Devontae does in the red zone. And, yeah, he's probably a better player right now than J-Mo. I'm probably the CD and Pickens thing. That's fine. The Jamar Chase, T. Higgins thing. T. Higgins was hurt a lot, so it's like, but talent-wise, yeah, it's fine. But you're not taking anyone else over Amon-Ra St. Brown and J-Mo. No one else. They should be at 4, and if you want to be a slappy and really going on the lines, you could be 3 and 2. But that's it. They should not be even 5th. If there's a 5th one that I'm missing, please give it to me. You won't be able to find it.
Well, the only one.
And the stats show it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. The only ones that are outside of that, we would have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. I would take the Lions.
Yes.
And if you want to say Jordan Addison and J-Mo is a wash, which I disagree with, and then Justin's better than Amon-Ra, we can have whatever. That's fine. I would take the Lions. 6 in that conversation, Jalen Waddle, Courtland Sutton, no. I would take the Lions over that. A.J. Brown, Romeo Doubs, no. Jackson Smith and Rashid Shaheed, no.
Nope.
So, yeah, they're unequivocally.
And even – oh, go ahead.
No, they're top. The question was, are they top 5? We put them at 4. They are at worst.
4th.
Worst. If you even want to take Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, they're 5.
But
they're in the top 5.
But even that, let's look at their stats last year. They combined last year for 1,600 yards, 120-something catches, and 5 touchdowns. Combined, and I know they didn't play all year,
right.
But you are looking at recency. What did they do last year? If you're ranking them, you got to look at what they did in the last season, right? Amon-Ra had and J-Mo combined had 40 more catches than them, over 1,000 yards more than them, and over 13 more touchdowns than them combined. That's insane, guys. It's not even close right now. Now, if Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison or who is it, Juwan Jennings, he ends up having a big, whoever it is for them, and they come out this year and put up numbers and more than them, then okay, we can have that conversation. But as of right now, there's no conversation. There's not.
Yeah.
J-Mo's better.
Yeah.
And then they're number 2 right now. That's a fact. So I'm not. I don't know. I think it's crazy, and I get it. Maybe in the moment he was like, no, and then once you start breaking it down and really noticing it, Steve Smith's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's on me. I'm really looking at, but
he was
Jalen Waddle and Sutton.
He was still trying to keep his argument up, talking about Jaden Waddle and him is a wash. What?
That's insane. Come on, man. I don't know.
That makes no sense.
And wouldn't that help J-Mo? Jalen Waddle's a number 1.
Yeah. It's kind of insane. I would love to have him on the show. Maybe we could reach out and get him on the show. We could talk about it a little bit because I think we put out a good argument that they're 4th at minimum.
Yeah, and I think by the way, Jalen Waddle, maybe not 1 from a lot of teams, but right now he's a 1. So if you want to say it's a wash with J-Mo, then
I don't even know if he's a 1 over there. Courtland Sutton been over there.
Yeah, he's the X. He would be the X over there. But Jalen Waddle's talented, so okay, you want to go wash, whatever. But what I'll say about J-Mo though is I think what gets overlooked is people based on Steve Smith saying that maybe that's a feeling that a lot of people have that are outside Detroit of J-Mo just being a speed guy. I think his route running is supremely underrated.
Yeah.
I think his route running is supremely underrated. Now, could his hands improve? Yeah. Obviously, he led the league in drops. Braylon already talked about that. I understand that. Hands can be better, more consistent. Understood. His route running is underrated. And what you saw to J-Mo is he's not just a deep threat guy. When they utilized him last year a lot more, he was catching passes over the middle. Even in that Texans game where Goff threw 5 picks, man, he caught a ball that sticks in my head of all the last couple years of Lions. For whatever reason, he caught that important, I don't know if it was a third down pass, but it was a big pass down in the middle, and he got destroyed and still out on the ball.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot more to J-Mo's game that I think gets underlooked because of the speed and how overpowering that is.
And also because he's just a third or fourth option or read in this offense because of all of the other targets. Like, let's be real about it. Jared Goff trusts Amon-Ra St. Brown a little bit more. He trusts Sam Laporta a little bit more, and rightfully so. But I don't think the offenses have really been designed to utilize and get the most out of J-Mo because, like I said, when you have a guy with that kind of next level speed, you should give him more looks because one of those looks can easily turn into 7 points. He has that kind of ability. He can flip games for you. But that's been my whole point the whole time. He just doesn't see the ball enough to really get the most out of him.
Can we as well? Like, let's notice this a little bit. Let's look at the top 4 duos, right? Because you do, like, when you have this conversation, like Steve Smith, he talks about it, like, you do look at yards, production, and obviously you can look at, for him, the talent, but even though he takes away the most talented thing that J-Mo has, which is speed, which is crazy. But, like, look at the rest of the offenses on these times, right? The Bengals, Chase and Higgins, right? What tight end do they have? Does anyone know?
No,
no one even knows their tight end. And then who's their running back? Chase Brown, who's like the 15th, 16th best running back in the NFL. You go to the Dallas Cowboys, they have Ferguson, but like good. He's good, but is he Sam Laporta level, top 5? That's going to be taking a bunch away from away from them. No. Who's their running back? Javonte Williams, just probably 15th-ish running back in the league. You go to the Rams, good running back, Kyron Williams. Who's their tight end?
Yeah, a bunch of different guys.
Right? So, like, even with the Lions, you look at the numbers that they put up. They had the most receiving yards as a duo in the NFL. Almost the most catches in the NFL. They were, I think, less than 10 short. Some of the most touchdowns in the NFL, only second, actually, to Puka and Devontae Adams. But also, you have Sam Laporta on that roster. You have Jahmyr Gibbs. Last year, you had David Montgomery. You had Isaac Tesla. Like, there's so many more weapons on that team to where when you do look at it, it's like, imagine if they didn't have all those weapons. Those 2 guys would probably even put bigger numbers up because you have to go to them and rely on them even more. And those other guys, they're their whole team. That's literally their offense. It's Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. When you obviously have Joe Burrow, but when you look at the weapons, those are the 2 guys that get every single target, every touch.
Yeah. Well, I'll even do one better. The tight end argument's fair, but I'll even go one better. The rushing attack on the Lions, they want to run the football. The Bengals can't run the football physically, so they pass a lot.
Yep.
So you have to look at that too. Like they had Gesicki over there with the Bengals. He had a pretty good year, but they don't run the ball as much as the Lions want to run the ball. So it actually takes away opportunities from those receivers. Like the Bengals, we know what Joe Burrow and them do. Like Joe Burrow has games where he's throwing the ball 40 times. So those guys are getting way more of an opportunity. So yeah, like I think you're right about that. But yeah, J-Mo, come on, man. You can't take away the guy's speed. I mean, that's what makes him so great, on top of other things he can provide as well.
Right.
Also, who has the best quarterback out of those 4 guys?
Jared Goff. He's the one.
Do you think he's the best, though, out of Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, and Dak Prescott?
Well, they're all kind of, besides, I guess,
Joe,
I mean, he's mad, but yeah, they're
it's really like him and Dak, but like again, they don't even have the best quarterback out of those duos.
Yeah, I guess like for
I'm a Goff guy, you guys know that. I think
I think maybe for what you mean by that is maybe the fit with the player. Like Goff there's a reason Sam and Amon-Ra are his favorite targets.
Right.
Like Matthew with J-Mo would be different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like guns. Goff.
Who?
Goff's not a gunslinging type of quarterback.
Yeah.
Like he's very accurate. He makes the right decisions. He's not afraid to check the ball down. Like, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It just is what it is. But like Matthew, they like to push the ball downfield.
Right.
Joe Burrow, they want to push
even
the
at the
ball
risk
downfield.
of a turnover.
Exactly.
They will,
Exactly. Like so, to that point, I understand that.
You just go down their offenses and you do look.
J-Mo's in an offense that he still gets 1,000 yards in that isn't
catered to him at all.
That's the right word. Yeah, isn't catered to him, which is important to talk about. So Steve Smith, got love for you, bro. Love watching you. You're a hell of a wide receiver, but if you're gonna come and say the Lions aren't a top 5 wide receiver duo, you got to come correct with it. You better bring stats and be like bang, 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 because that wasn't a great display.
That was tough. He's like, I think I've lost my thought.
Yeah, that was. And we love you. We love it. Hey, he golfs too. Hell of a golfer, Steve Smith. But maybe we can get you on to kind of explain that take. You'll have some time to research it and dive into it. But you just can't. Once you actually break down the wide receiver duos, You can't.
Also,
you can't say
too,
they're not.
in the chat, the DJ CI, I don't know how to say that, but he said dude completely flipped his JMO opinion within 24 hours versus yesterday. I don't know if he's talking about you, me, who he's talking about. But realistically, again, we have the Dallas Cowboys duo above the Lions one because of George Pickens.
This is again, we have whenever you have these conversations, like who's the best wide receiver in the NFL, you ask anyone. Most people would say George Pickens. I mean, Steve Smith literally said he ain't better than George Pickens, which I do agree with.
Braylon did his yesterday. It was George Pickens.
To be the number 2 ranked, number 2 wide receiver, people act like it's an insult.
No. It's good.
He's better than every other wide receiver 2 in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, I threw out T. Higgins out there if you want to have that debate, but like he's in that conversation with those guys.
He is, yeah.
So I don't know what that means. Like flip to your opinion. No, we've been consistent. I think Jamo's gonna have a great year. KG, we've all been saying the same thing. So I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. We'll go to break though. What do we got, Caleb?
Tell us about Yaldo.
I got you, Yaldo. Steve Smith, you might need Yaldo, my friend. You got to get those eyes checked when you're talking about the Lions wide receiver duos. Because if you're tired of fumbling those glasses or dealing with the hassle of contacts, well, Yaldo Eye Center, they are the professionals. 30 years of experience, 100,000 procedures, and that LASIK eye surgery. I think DMAC's actually getting it as well at Yaldo. So they're helping out DMAC in the near future as well. It's completely painless, takes just 8 minutes, and their patients are seeing 20/20 the very next day. Take advantage of their summer promotion, just $1,699 per eye, regardless of your prescription. Book your consultation with Yaldo Eye Center at yaldoeyecenter.com/1699.
Neil Rule and Sean Belizian wake you up every Monday through Friday on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. That's right, Big D Energy has moved to mornings. Get your morning dose of Neil's tone and Sean's insanity. Weekdays 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Two Detroit sports legends coming together for the best Detroit sports morning show there is. Big D Energy, waking you up weekdays on Detroit's #1 sports network.
Finally, life-enhancing LASIK surgery at a price you can afford. Michigan's most experienced eye surgeon, Dr. Yaldo, is offering the most advanced LASIK at just $1,699 per eye, regardless of your prescription. Imagine not just being free from contacts and glasses, but actually seeing better without them. This limited 2026 spring offer is thousands less than others charge. Go to yaldoeyecenter.com for your free evaluation and save.
This is a hungry bear. This is Carl and Jeff. Carl isn't worried because he has focused energy to spare thanks to Thrive energy pouches. Jeff didn't use Thrive when Carl offered. The bear is happy about that. Don't just survive. Thrive.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Copy.
Loom is back, and they are bringing the heat, man, with some of these new Buzzin energy drinks. It's the same Buzzins that you know and love, 7.5 milligrams of pure THC, but they have paired that with 100 milligrams of caffeine from green tea extract. But it's no artificial sweeteners in there. It's bold in flavor and light in calories. You can get it at all 40 locations across the state of Michigan. All you got to do is go to loom.com to learn more, and of course, you still get 30% off your entire order online or in store. All you gotta do is use promo code WSN30.
We're back. It's crunch time here on Woodward Sports. Let's hammer these super chats out. We'll talk about the doc, and then we got mailbag coming up as well.
Yeah, we got 2 super chats we haven't got to yet. Dante, $5, said, guys in the chat, especially Big Con 51, the Nuggets are not going to trade Jokic for someone who can't shoot the 3 ball. Stop it. I think there was a conversation in the chat when LeBron made his decision that people were like, Jokic, get him to Detroit.
He wants to stay.
I think someone said that's the only way the Pistons
Nuggets
can win.
Yeah, he loves being there.
Look, I'll be on the front lines to say that I would have liked to bring in a star, but Jokic is like, that's a dreamland. Like,
That would
that's
be
not
incredible.
happening.
Him and Creed, though.
Oh, my
You're living in a bizarro world.
We
You
might
didn't
win
think
3
you
straight.
get Jokic.
You got to fire up the 2K franchise mode.
Yeah.
Not
Force-
even. You're not
Force
even
the
gonna be able to
trade.
do
Force
that.
the trade.
Yeah,
it's the only way you're getting that done.
Dez gave $5, saying, when was the last time a super team won? I'm not concerned about the Sixers sign and trade Duran to Houston for Sengun. Can we just
Dude, Sengun, I'll say it. He's overrated.
Really?
Yeah,
he is.
He's overrated.
I'm
good
excited
player.
about his
Good
stats.
player.
Yeah, he's solid, but
They act like he's a great player.
Yeah,
he's not a great
he's
player.
not, yeah.
He's not.
And the
He
super
can't defend, and he does a lot of you ask Rockets fans, they're frustrated with
Yeah.
it.
And the super team thing is like, okay, we've talked about this a lot. Look at how the Knicks built their team. The team that just won the NBA championship. They traded a ton of first-round picks. They spent a lot of money on this roster. I know technically, when you look at the names, it's not necessarily a super team, but they mortgaged a lot to build this team. So,
I almost would say super team.
Yeah,
Just not obviously not
Yeah.
a bunch of superstars, but like you do have 6 or 7 dudes that are like
that
like OG was Jeff. I'll say it because I had to admit it because we went through that. A star in the league.
Yeah.
OG is Cat, a star in the league. Jalen Brunson, a star in the league. Michael Bridges at one point was about to be a star in the league. The dude was averaging it felt like a stretch of games in Brooklyn, like 30 a game. Am I missing anyone?
No, it feels like,
Josh Hart, very good role player.
It feels like this weird narrative now, just because like you brought up Phoenix earlier, Phoenix bringing in Brad Beal and KD to pair with Booker, or the Nets when they had Harden, Kyrie, and KD. Yeah, those didn't work, but that doesn't mean trading and bringing in superstars doesn't make your team better.
The last team to do it, besides the Warriors, had LeBron on it.
Yep.
So, for whatever reason, when LeBron's on that super team, they end up figuring it out.
I've always said you have to have stars on your team to win in the league.
Yep.
Like you have not just one, you need multiple. And right now the Pistons have one, and other teams in the East are adding multiple. Bam Adebayo with Giannis. Like, what else is there? Celtics. They had Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, but then they had still Paul George, which if you want to categorize him there, a little older. But like you know what I mean. Every team is pushing for that, and typically when a team wins, SGA, Jalen Williams, Chet. You have to have a couple stars on your team. You do.
Anything else? Super chats?
No, the only one we haven't done yet is Tab Sauce. Earlier in the show, he did $5. The Doc got hit for his Jeremy comments yesterday. Will you guys still talk to Doc even without his credential? We can address all the Doc stuff now if we want. I have stuff on it.
I'll say this about the Doc, man. For people that don't know the backstory with that, so the Doc has been joining us weekly for the last handful of years. Okay, he is one of our dear friends. We hang out. He's a good friend of ours. It's outside of work, obviously. He's a great friend of ours. We are always going to be loyal to him. I think that's what's missing in today's world is it's only loyalty for what you can provide. Loyalty's loyalty. Okay, no matter what. Yeah, and no matter what the Doc is doing, he will always be a part of what we do. We love him. We'll do anything for him. Do we agree with some of the things he does? No. And we have arguments about the things he does. But it's brotherly love. We love him. And yesterday, the Jeremy Riceman stuff, do we agree with that? Absolutely not. But guess what? We're going to have his back through and through. So is he going to continue to join the show? Fuck yeah. He's the Doc. We love him. He's a big part of what we do in our program. We think he's entertaining. We think he's hilarious. The people, whether you love him or hate him, he's entertaining to watch. And he's going to be a big part of our show no matter if he has a credential or not. Do I agree with the decision to not credential him? I don't. I think the Doc is excellent at what he does. He's one of the hardest working individuals in this business. And he is opinionated. And, I don't know the backstory behind it. I know the Doc is he loves his job. He loves covering the Lions. He takes it very seriously. Ask Booner. And the amount of conversations we have with the Doc where he's telling us stuff, he's this stuff is what he's very thorough with his work. He's very thorough. He's a professional. So I disagree with it. I think the Doc should be credentialed. I think he is the voice of the people at times, and we love him. So he is not going anywhere. We love him to death. He's going to join us every single Wednesday. And the fact that the Doc texted us yesterday and was like, hey, if you guys don't want to have me on, I understand.
Dude.
Get the hell out of here, Doc.
Yeah,
You're coming out every Wednesday. We love you.
I as soon as I got the text, I got out of dinner. I called Doc instantly and had a 20-minute phone call with him about everything because it's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's that's his livelihood. And I did tell him hey, at the end of the day, we all do this right now. Jeff and I do it, and we've been successful, thankfully, without even having a credential. And we were able to put out that content. And I told Doc, I said, that's not going to stop you from doing your job. And obviously, people always are asking me in our comments, is he going to still be with Lions on SI? Yes, Doc is, good to go. From what he told me, he's still going to be covering the team on Lions and SI. He does an elite job. I think he's one of the best in the game. Whether you like the guy or you don't like the guy, and whether you like the way he approaches how he does it and what he does, he's still one of the best in my opinion in the city at what he does. He gets the news out there very quick, very thorough, as Jeff said, and he's very good at what he does. And he has an opinion. And I will say this with the doc, like, I think what the Lions did, and I've had this opinion a lot, I'll say it because me and Jeff are very comfortable with being like, we don't care if me and him are credentialed. I don't know, obviously Woodward maybe one day, but me and him don't care if we're credentialed. We don't want to be credentialed. There's rules, there's all these different things about it. What the Lions are doing with the doc, taking it away, like, I think it's the worst possible thing they could do. And I heard some of the reasons, and I don't know if he shared all of them, but from what I've heard, they had a folder on the doc since 2019 with different things that they said was unprofessional.
What, the FBI?
On top of that, not just unprofessional things he's done, questions that he might have asked, just different things that they didn't like how he approached what he did. And I think everyone at the end of the day can undeniably say that he did a very elite job with the credential. So the fact that the Lions took it away, this is my opinion, not Doc's opinion, not anyone else, not Woodward's opinion. This is Booner's opinion. Detroit Lions are fully in the wrong. And what they're doing to strip credentials because they don't like the way that people approach questions and they think people are unprofessional outside of Allen Park in his personal time or what he does on other shows, I think that's censoring media. That's what that is. And you know what I like? We have media. We've had media on the show all week. We did. We love everyone. Justin, Jeremy, all these guys. We love them all. Colton, Corey. Like I'm going to miss people. But I think it's disrespectful and it's wrong for the Detroit Lions PR to go out there and be like, we're going to censor. That we don't like what he's doing. We don't like how he goes about it. I think that's wrong. And you shouldn't strip someone's credentials. And next level to that, you should at least warn someone and go to them on the side and say, hey, we have a folder about you of things we don't like. Hey, maybe we tell you what we don't like, so maybe you have an opportunity to change what we don't like. So you're able to approach it a different angle instead of just stripping a guy's livelihood that goes to that place every day and works his ass off to give content to the fans. And guess what? I'll say it. He's one of the only guys in that room that actually gives get tough, not tough questions, but really puts reports out there that ruffles feathers. So you're just taking the credentials away of a guy that ruffles feathers because you don't want feathers ruffled in your room, guys. Well, hey, Lions PR, it's the business we're in. Go to Philly, go see how those media people ruffle feathers. Mm-hmm. Go to New York. You can't keep this Lions PR room all dandy every day. Like, you have to have people like the doc in that building to be able to ruffle those feathers. Or else you're controlling the narrative of what comes in and out of that building. And if that's what you want to do, fine. But we're going to let it be known. And don't get mad at us for saying something. That's all I looked at. I was kind of pissed off last night when the doc texted us. And when I talked to him on the phone about it, he's going to be perfectly fine, but it does piss me off a little bit. Whether you like him or not, I see people online taking victory laps on the doc, going at him, whatever. You can have your opinion on that, but at the end of the day, the Lions kind of taking a credential away because they don't like the way a guy approaches how he does it. Right. That's wrong. He gets some of the most views out of anyone. And when I know the doc talks about that a lot, and people joke around like, oh, he's talking in third person. He really does get some of the most views out of anyone that's in that building, and that's a fact. He's on one of the most major publications in the country in Sports Illustrated. That's a fact. So, I think it's insane. I hope maybe in the next week the Lions see it and they go, you know what? That's on us, hand up, because that should never happen. It shouldn't happen, to be honest.
Yeah, and I understand you have to play, again, be on both sides here. I understand the Lions' point of view. They have the right to do that because there's no law. There's not a law that they can control what they want to control with
for
the PR.
Sure.
And I've gotten to know Amon from we did our interview with Lions Collective, or with Brad Holmes with Lions Collective, and Amon's a great guy, but we just disagree with that decision.
Yeah, I'm not trying to go at him personally.
Yeah,
we just don't like that.
It's not
decision.
our decision to make. It's Amon and the Lions PR to make that who they want in the room, and there's a lot of guys that are in there that are uber professional. The guys that do Lions Collective with Justin, Will, Colton, those guys are professionals. And I think Doc's a professional. I think there's different ways it looks. Like, the doc isn't like those other guys. It doesn't mean that those guys or docs doing a bad job. I actually like the different flavors. I personally, as someone who reads coverage and hears coverage, I like different flavors. We have guys on that are all about business. And we've had those guys on. We had them on this week, and they crush, and they're awesome. And we've gotten to know those guys, and they're on a friendly level. They're awesome. And then there's a doc. He's different. He's not afraid to, not that those other guys are, but he's not afraid to really say whatever the hell is on his mind. And he doesn't have a censorship. I also like that, So
you have to have both.
You got to have
room,
both,
guy.
and I understand the questions he asks, but to be honest with you, some of those questions, those guys all ask great questions, and they get out there, and it's news, and we talk about it. It's amazing. same with the doc. Like the things he asked Brad and Dan, even though they might not like it, it makes news and people talk about it. So he does a great job. So we're always going to root for the doc. He's not going anywhere. You know, we'll always have him on our show because we owe him that. He's our brother. So loyalty.
Instantly told him that too. I was shocked that he even asked that. We were like, dude, you have your Wednesday spot whenever you want. That's yours. But yeah, and by the way too, I hope I didn't sound mean towards the Lions. That's not what my initial like towards Amon and them. Like I think they're great people.
No, you didn't. But
realistically, it's just like, hey, you like in rooms like that in media, you're gonna have people that do things differently. And just because he does it a different way that most people might not like, he still gets a lot of people that click and a lot of viewers. And he does it in a job to where there are people who like what he does.
Yeah.
And, how he does. And people in the chat are like, oh, he was drunk on that show that one time. Guys, we did a late night show at 8 p.m. and he's on our platform. He's not on his platform on Lions and SI. He's not in Allen Park to where he needs to be not having a nice cocktail. It's the end of a night when he was on our show having a drink, just enjoying the night.
He can do that.
That's a human thing to do, right? Like LeBron goes and drinks wine on a show, like, and he gets drunk. Like, it's a human thing to do. He's not out there like, I don't know. I just think it's kind of crazy that they took it. I was shocked yesterday when I heard that.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying the doc makes no mistakes, okay? I'm not saying that as well, but I'm with you. Like, if there is something the doc's doing wrong, you got to confront him and say something.
Give him an opportunity.
Give him an opportunity to correct himself.
Even the doc said, he told me, he's like, even if like I get a suspension for a month or something, whatever it is, like you can't just out of nowhere be like he's one of the biggest publications in the Lions world.
Yeah.
He is. It's a fact. You look up Detroit Lions news right now on Google, I'm sure you see Lions on SI. Yeah. And the fact that they took that off, like, their job is to get clicks in the Lions, right? And it's also obviously to protect, but they're kind of going more so the protect route of like, hey, we don't want this guy in the room because he's too tough on our guys. That's the sense that I get, and that should never be a thing.
So we're Team Doc. We should go to break. I just wanted to address that. So Doc will be joining us every single Wednesday, no matter if he's credentialed or not, because we love the guy. What do we got, Caleb?
KG, tell us about Amnesia.
Yeah, I will do that. And Amnesia has a great new product in, and it's called the Switch. It's a 2-gram dual chamber disposable featuring liquid diamonds. And with 2 chambers and 2 different flavor profiles, you can enjoy the left, you can enjoy the right, or bring them together and enjoy both at the same damn time. But discover your new favorite with the Switch by Amnesia.
Jahmyr Gibbs, breakout season, loading.
Inside the 5, Gibbs to the end zone, touchdown!
Woodward Sports, the most dominant Detroit sports coverage around.
Some days call for light, others lean bold. What about everything in between? All Day IPA, the easy choice for every day. Citrusy, crisp, refreshing. Flavor you can float with. Light on the hops, big on refreshment. 1's great. 2, even better. Brewed with you in mind. No shortcuts, no fuss. Big on flavor, never too much. All Day IPA. Hop into easy.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Shout out to Gold Crown and the Royal Jesters, man. 1.5 grams each, and they are quad infused. And we know what that is. Keef coated, live resin infused, THCA diamonds, and terpenes all packed into one big, beautiful joint. 4 layers of you gonna be good after you hit that one, man. Michigan made, top tier, no shortcuts. Next time you hit the dispo, don't think, just ask for the Royal Jesters, because if you're gonna smoke, y'all know the slogan by now, smoke like royalty.
And if you're looking to take your relaxation to the next level, Massage Share House in Bloomfield Hills is the place to be, the largest massage share room in the Midwest, and you can experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at the Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at massagesharehouse.com or simply scan the QR code on your screen. Massage Share House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Drop those mailbag questions. It's crunch time on Woodward Sports. Hit the like button also on the stream if you haven't already. Let's get to some of these mailbag questions from the people. Freddie Felt, thank you for the $2, brother. Shout out Freddie, by the way.
Freddie.
And shout out Nick Rake, who stopped by the studio.
Yep,
He's in the chat always, so shout out to him, man.
Both of those guys,
yeah, they're all real ones. Guys that come through, hang out with the boys.
Best,
Freddie,
man.
To be fair, I've been higher than Eagles nuts on WSN. See?
Shout out Freddie,
Hey,
dude.
that's a fair point, Freddie.
That's funny.
Nothing wrong with it, man. Nothing wrong with it.
Rich Baldwin, I said this on the break. Doc was the one who reported that DeMont was on the trade block. The next day, DeMont was traded to Houston. We were in Indy with the Doc when that got reported. It was the second to last day in Indy for the Combine. Gets reported that there was the conversation about David Montgomery wanting out. People called the Doc an idiot, said, Doc, who's your source? Who's your source? And then we were in Indy where Doc is with big time out Sports Illustrated guys. Almost said the name there, wasn't going to say it. Gets the news. Guess what? The next day, a real report comes out from, what's his name? Jeremy Fowler. That happened. And then people are, oh, Doc. Come on.
Zach, so mailbag, does today feel like a Monday to you?
No, it feels like a Friday. It's been the longest week of all time, honestly.
It feels like the week has been long.
Yeah, there's just so much stuff that's happened this week. I've never wanted a Friday to kind of come any quicker.
I had this like weird thing. I don't know. This might be total BS. When I was in like elementary, a teacher of mine used to say, this could be complete BS, that like, and it still stuck with me for some reason. The later you get into a month, the longer the weeks feel.
What?
No, that's actually true. It does.
That
is true.
And I stuck with me forever.
I've never heard that before.
And
Why
like,
is that
wow,
true?
I don't know.
Well, think about it, dude. Like think about how fast like July 1st through like 14th went, and you're like, holy shit, it's already the middle of July, and I feel like we've been at the end of July for like 6 months.
That's actually, you know what? As I'm thinking about it, because we had the 4th of July trip, we were off for a day. Yeah.
I don't know what information, what data. I don't know anything about that.
That's crazy.
But
actually.
it's just, I'm like, man, it's stuck with me ever since. Let's see. ETN, mailbag, favorite sports moment of all time. Well, there's the two versions of this: Detroit sports and then non-Detroit sports.
Yeah.
So many,
I would say Detroit sports favorite moment of all time.
Mine is maybe just the Pistons championship that I was alive for, because I really have, outside of the Wings, maybe
honestly,
nothing else.
I would say in recent history, Lions beating the Rams.
Oh,
yes,
that's actually a great one.
Favorite moment of all time, though, the one I remember most vividly, I mean, I was only in probably like 8th grade, so I had to remember vividly, was Game 7, 2016.
I was gonna say that too.
That was special, bro. Like I was watching with my dad. I was watching with my dad and my dad and my grandpa, and they both don't like LeBron. Like they're both big Jordan guys. And I remember just kind of looking at my dad. He's like when LeBron was on the ground with his hands on his head, like he was like, holy shit, man, this is special. That was an all-timer.
Who farted? Mailbag, should the NBA just cancel next season and give Philly the trophy now?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it to him.
Yeah, that's basically what we said. Yeah.
And by the way, LeBron has a
Who farted?
player
Shout out to
option.
you, bro.
You know what he's going to do, right? If they don't win a championship this year, he's just going to do one more year, and then that's it. This is the last 2 years of LeBron, we'll see.
Yeah.
And if they win a championship this year, he's done.
Yeah, he said in his tweet this is his last decision.
Yeah. So he's got 2 years left, and he's going to make a push at it.
I read too. He almost went to Philly in 2018 before the Lakers.
Oh, wow.
And then he decided to go to the Lakers because of some business stuff in LA and stuff like that. Now this is his opportunity to go to Philly with Jaylen Brown there, so they're better.
They went all crazy in this offseason.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Teddy. Hey, KG, LeBron is a Sixer. You still doubting us? He said us.
Well, once again, the Sixers have never loaded up like this, but on paper it looks good. But that they have to stay healthy. They do have some health concerns in that starting lineup. But the only thing I do know is that we finally got the final episode of the Process doc that is going to come out about this team. LeBron saves the process. It's written in stone.
Yeah, honestly, I forgot about the process.
Yeah, bro,
there's only
that
one
doc
player
is
left.
Gonna be insane, bro.
There's only one player left of the process. That's Joel Embiid.
He's the final episode. LeBron is the final episode of the doc.
And he'll be the only player, like I said, in NBA history to win a championship with 4 different franchises.
Bro, if he saved the process, that'd be insane.
And it's with like Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then he goes and goes to the 76ers and wins one in Philly.
Yep.
Like obviously LA, Miami, they won one in recent years, but Cleveland and Philly.
Bro, it's insane. They should bring back Fultz and Simmons and Sarr.
Oh my gosh.
And Okafor, just so Daryl Morey could be like, I fucking told you.
Right, I did it.
Imagine they just like cut everyone at the back of the roster, 10 through 15, and they just bring all those guys back. Isn't Markelle Fultz still playing?
No.
He was 2 years ago, and he was actually a pretty decent player. But last year, I don't think he was on a roster.
Ben Simmons is looking to make a comeback. There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah, he was a full-time
part of it.
all time last year.
He might be the final. You want a
Fultz.
bench point guard? There,
Right.
Ben
I know
Simmons.
we talking about Ben Simmons and his lack of not being able to shoot, but bro, like Markelle Fultz just forgot how to shoot.
That was
I've never
crazy.
seen anything like
I've
that
never
in my
seen
life,
anything
bro.
like that either.
That
I
was
loved
insane.
him coming out
Yeah,
of Washington.
like-
He was a bucket.
It was insane.
I thought he was
and that
gonna
was a
be
loaded
cold.
draft class too, and he was the number 1 overall. He was like the undisputed. Like
Was
you're
that
not taking
Ingram,
Lonzo.
Tatum?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
bro.
not taking Tatum. You're not taking Ingram. You're not taking Lonzo. Like this is the guy. Like that's
Yeah.
insane. And he was whatever sad kind of.
Zach Soap asked Mailbag, you guys doing anything fun this week? And you guys got anything planned?
I'm going to the Tigers game on Sunday.
Sunday? I think I might be going tomorrow. I think.
All right. Not just
KG?
date night with the wifey tonight, but
There
that's
we-
it.
What's the date night?
Going to Red Lobster. It's her favorite place. So.
Ooh.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't. I'm
Red
telling you right now,
Lobster.
Red
Yeah, the
Lobster,
biscuits, bro, the
I'm
biscuits.
telling
Oh,
you.
so
I haven't been to Red
good,
Lobster in a
bro.
long
No,
time.
that, I feel
man.
like it gets some hate, and I don't know why. I don't know why Red Lobster. I see a lot of shade at Red Lobster, and I don't know why. I like Red Lobster.
I haven't been in a long time, I'll
I
be
went
honest.
there, I
I've
was
had their biscuits, though, a couple times.
They're on.
Fucking
they're
fire, bro.
unbelievable. They're insane, dude.
It's a good date night.
Yeah.
I might come stop by.
Hey, you can. Just third wheel it. Absolutely.
Crash the date night, man.
Just sit down next to KG. What up, KG?
Right.
Let me get a biscuit, though.
I got
Thanks,
you.
bro.
Man.
Let's get out of here. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, check out Braylon Anson, 2 to 4 heavyweights, 5 to 7. Hit the
well,
like button.
When we come back, Monday, training camp starts. Lions season officially starts Monday.
Clocking
Training
in, man.
camp is going.
Clocking in. Until Monday, have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe out there.
Love you
We'll catch
guys.
you Monday, 11 a.m. Peace.
The next generation of Detroit sports media is here. Crunch Time is back on Woodward Sports. Join Jeff Iafrate and Booner Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Taking Detroit sports coverage to the next level with massive interviews, viral moments, and the best live reactions. Get ready, Detroit. The young guns are taking over. Crunch Time on Woodward Sports.